Hello. It's ready.
Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, hello. If you're returning, welcome back. Thank you so much for sticking around. I really appreciate you. So today is the day. It's the Amberlynn Reid history lesson. Ever since I posted my foodie beauty history lesson, this one has been increasingly more requested. And it was always kind of on my list, but I was always so scared to do it because there's just so much to cover. I will say that, and I also, I'm kind of getting ahead of myself here, but I've been in, the Amberverse for a very long time, and so, I already had ideas of, everything that I wanted to cover, but I just didn't know, where to start, or where, how to organize it all, or whatever, because I couldn't remember, chronologically when everything fell, but then I found two very good timelines on the Reddit that, really helped me get this off the ground, so big ups to them. All of that being said, I just want to do a few quick little disclaimers here. I am not Mr. Snowflake, okay? I am definitely not the first person to do a video like this on Amberlynn. If you don't know who Mr. Snowflake is, he's a video essayist on here who has upwards, I think, of 17 videos on Amberlynn and her entire existence online almost, that are all about 30 minutes to an hour long. You know what I don't have time for? That. And also, there's a really great series on Amberlynn and all of her scandals as well by a creator called Septa7, and those are also really great, really in detail. But I've always made these history lesson videos as kind of a spark notes to the creator, whoever or whatever we are talking about, because especially when it comes to Amberlynn, I feel like a lot of people come into this world at very, very different times, and the amount of lore behind Amberlynn and her channel is insane. I also think that that's why we see so many people coming into her comments coming into her content not understanding why people are so harsh on her, which do I think people are too harsh on her sometimes? A lot of the time, yeah, but do I think some of it is also warranted? Yes. So there's that. All that being said, I am most likely going to miss some things or purposefully just leave things out because I don't think they're important to what I'm trying to accomplish with this video. So if I leave anything out, I don't need to know about it in the comments, okay? Thank you. I'm just saying that right now because it will stress me out. Also, if there isn't a receipt for something that I'm talking about in this video, just know that it does exist on the internet somewhere. I will do my best to add every single screenshot or clip or whatever that I can, but if I miss one or whatever, just know that it's there. This is a lot to ask, but take my word for it because I've been consuming content surrounding Amberlynn Reid for a very long time. So a lot of it just lives up here. And yeah. But that being said, this video is bound to be long no matter what, so let's just get into it, and I will have it chaptered out the best I can. Before we get into today's video, I want to thank today's video sponsor, Bellessa. Bellessa, as you all probably know by now if you are not new to my channel, is a friend of the channel, and they are my go-to for sexual wellness products and adult entertainment if the mood arises. Bellessa is a bi-women company for all things sexuality. Think toys, adult entertainment, erotica, all that kind of stuff. Bellessa's mission is to empower everyone to embrace, explore, and celebrate their sexuality. Hi, so I'm here to showcase some of Bellessa's toys. This one is the Air Vibe. It is great for dual stimulation. It has 8 vibration intensities and 8 suction intensities. This one is the Pebble. I think this one is great for beginners. It is great for external stimulation, and it offers suction and vibration. I think it just fits really well on the hand, and it feels really nice when you're using it. And then this one is the Thrust. This one is great for those, again, who love both internal and external stimulation, and it has 10 vibration modes and 5 thrusting and rotating modes. All of these toys are also made with non-porous, body-safe, silky smooth silicone and are all fully waterproof and rechargeable. So just like every other time I've talked about Bellesa, I am working with them to send you guys free vibrators or gift cards if you just click the giveaway link down in my description. I've entered these previously before and I got a $50 gift card. I've had people tell me they get like $75 gift cards. Either way, you're gonna get something if you use the link in my description. So check out that link and please let me know what you get down below. Thank you so much to Bellesa for working with me again this year, and thank you so much to you guys for continuing to interact with my content so that sponsors like Bellesa want to keep working with me. So just like in the Foodie Beauty video, which was the last history lesson that I put out, I would love to give an ode to the archive compilation channels, because without them, this would have been so much harder to do. They really put in the work to the point where I could just type in for almost anything like Amberlynn Reid blank and I would find what I needed. I don't really know what that says about this community, but no, they made making this video a lot easier. That being said, a lot of the clips that I am using are from compilation channels or archive channels, and so any like extra text or music that may be with those videos and clips were not added by me, and I will also have what channel the clip is from. If you're just listening, just know that that's there. So if you don't know who Amberlynn Reid is, she is a YouTuber who has been on YouTube for over a decade. Her first video and the following content for a little while after were they're like solely dedicated to her wanting to lose weight, and so they were like food videos, exercise videos, and weigh-in updates and stuff like that. She will go back and forth now, like in present day, as to if she is a weight loss channel or not, but that is what her channel started off as. It's important to note as well that in the early days of her channel, and I just want to get this out here like right away, she is very open and honest about having a very rough childhood. She went through the foster system. She turned to food a lot to cope with the emotional distress that her upbringing caused her. Ever since she posted that first video, her channel has morphed into something that is just so interesting in the to see on the internet, because when it comes to her weight loss, she has since gained about 200 pounds since she started her channel, and that has been a big point of conversation surrounding her channel. But since she started her channel, it became a place for curious onlookers, I guess, and hate watchers alike to gather and take it all in, I guess. I am not a professional, and I don't like using this word lightly. I really think that the reason Amberlynn is so popular amongst the trolls is because of how she presents herself. I mean, her weight doesn't help anything, and I will say that right away, but her personality comes off very like condescending, self-centered, and dare I say narcissistic throughout the course of her content. And like I said, I am not a professional. It is not within my means to say that fully about somebody. But I will say it was really interesting going back and looking at a lot of her old content for this video, because her personality, I think it's just because she got more comfortable online, but her personality changes so much as her content goes on. And I don't know if it's just because she got more comfortable or if she was getting more fed up with people or whatever, because she always says that she like has a guard up when she films and all that kind of stuff because of the hate that she gets. But her personality does go from being shy and timid and like kind of sweet to eventually morphing into what I would consider to be very self-centered and condescending. So yeah, if you want to go on a deeper level than that, some people would say that she is a manipulative liar as well. I think it's just interesting how someone's channel could start off like any other channel of somebody who's trying to document their weight loss, but now it has since morphed into what hers is today, simply because of like things that she has said and done in her actions. And the one thing about Amber's channel is it is all there. Like, there are a few videos that have been deleted to the best, like as far as I know, but for the most part, it is all there still. All 10 years of it, 10 years plus of it. And just for context, she is 32. I believe she's going to be turning 33 this month in December. One important thing to note that before we get into any of, I guess, the lore of Amberlynn, is that Amberlynn is also, she's a lesbian, and the community surrounding her often sorts the timeline of her channel based on what girlfriend she has at the time, and they call those like the different eras, and I'm gonna do that here just because it's easy. It was easier for me, but also I do think it's interesting because I do think with each partner she changes just a little bit, like every single time, and it's very interesting to see. So my personal Amberlynn Reid lore goes as follows. I found her, I believe, in like 2018. I found her back in like 2018 because I was going to be starting my own weight loss journey. I think I found her like right before I started the bariatric clinic to get weight loss surgery, like around 5 years ago. I don't know how I got recommended her content. I'm assuming it's because I was watching like other weight loss content at the time. But I did, and it kind of sucked me in. But truthfully, like her content on its own is really boring, just objectively. But then when I started watching her content in 2018, that's when I started getting recommended like the reaction channels that also go along with her content. And those were the videos that I watched more of, and that helped me like catch up on the history surrounding this creator. And I've seen a lot of reaction channels compare talking about her and her content to like how people have shows or YouTube channels or whatever talking about like a reality TV show or like that of a gossip magazine. And now I kind of get it, which seems weird to say about a person online, but when you see like how not seriously Amberlynn takes herself, like 95% of the time, I think you may come to understand it too. And I say that I kind of get it now because I actually, if you've been here long enough, I can't remember how long ago it was, because I have a video that is now privated on my channel from the early days of me. It's me kind of like critiquing the reaction channels around her. And because at the time they were super nitpicky, like they were getting really nitpicky to the point where like I didn't find it enjoyable anymore. And they used to not be like that. Like when I found them, I don't remember them being like that initially. But around that time, I felt like they were starting to get really nitpicky. They were coming after her like home decor choices. And they were also like making fun of things like her grammar and her intelligence and stuff, which I took a big issue with because like she did have such a hard childhood that probably really impacted her education. And so I was having issue with that, and I still do. Like I still kind of take what they say with a grain of salt, but I do find them entertaining again because I feel like they're not being annoyingly nitpicky anymore. And since I started making my own commentary every once in a while on Amberlynn, starting at the end of last year through this year, because she does go on a weight loss surgery arc, but the most recent one is the one I think that was the most serious. I wanted to start lending my commentary on it and everything, and after I started talking about all of that, I privated that video because I didn't want to come off as a hypocrite. Because do I still find something odd in having a channel devoted to talking about like one, maybe two specific creators online? Yeah, I do think that, and I'll say this, and I'm going to touch on this in a little bit, but I do think that the reaction channels keep Amberlynn's channel going. That being said, like the reason I wanted to do one of these on Amberlynn is not only because I was asked to, but also because I really think that my being so quick to defend her was because there was only like really long form videos on her. And should I have done that research? Sure. But I just think that having these tiny little Spark Notes videos helps. Contrary to what other people do with Amber when they talk about her, I'm actually not going to focus on her weight a whole lot in this video. Because quite frankly, I think her weight is like the least interesting thing about her. Although as someone who had weight loss surgery, I did find, like I said, her most recent weight loss surgery arc to be interesting to watch. And that's why I finally started dipping my toes into making commentary on her. But for the sake of highlighting all things that are relevant and kind of important in the Amberverse to at least know about, I'll probably mention the cycle. Now, the cycle is something that viewers started to notice over the course of Amberlynn's content as her channel progressed. And it's surrounding how she approaches a weight loss journey, like a new weight loss journey arc. And someone actually made an infographic for it, so I will read it here. Stage 1 of the cycle is redemption, meaning she has a plan, She is trying or retrying, trying new weight loss approaches or retrying old ones. They mentioned that her hair is washed usually, and we are getting somewhat regular weigh-ins as viewers. And she always is like buying something to go along with this weight loss journey, usually like a water bottle or a Fitbit, a journal. And she also has like a very big mindset shift. And she will attempt to exercise. She'll be meal prepping and planning. And then she'll start acting like this is her channel's a weight loss channel again. Second phase of it is ignorance, which means more trips to the store, running errands, lots more B-roll in her vlogs. Going out to eat, she'll just stop mentioning her weight loss goals or plans. She'll start clickbaiting her title, do more story time videos. I think this is from a while ago. Some of this has kind of stopped, but yeah, it says overall 10-minute videos of nothing. 3, indignation usually includes a fast food / junk food mukbang. Her hair is at near peak greasiness, which I don't really want to comment on her hair too much because that is a point of contention amongst some commentary channels, is like her greasy hair. But Amberlynn, and this is one thing that I actually really believe when Amberlynn says this, because I experience it myself. Amberlynn says that keeping up with her hair and her personal hygiene gets really hard, not only because of her weight, because I'm sure that does affect things, but also when her mental health gets really bad, her hygiene is the first thing to go, specifically washing her hair. And that is something that I can empathize with 100%. So like, I'm not going to touch on that because I really don't think it matters. Torrid hauls, weight loss goals finally addressed. She usually has abandoned them. She would blame her audience for like her gaining weight or whatever. She would always use her having BED as a crutch. She would be shopping more. She would just be talking and saying that she's really honest with people all the time, and she would just be eating a lot of garbage in her video. Stage number 4 is manipulation, which involves crying, saying, I can't do this. I don't know how I let this happen. There's misleading titles of her videos suggesting that she's actually taking accountability. But then she takes zero accountability for where she is. She uses, and she talks a lot about her mental health and her BED. Then she'll usually kind of go ghost on YouTube for like a week or so, and then people get nervous. And it just kind of cycles over and over again, according to the people that made this graphic. So the thing about the cycle is that some of it is very specific to her, right? But I do think that a lot of those behaviors, as someone who has struggled with her weight her entire life, I can really relate to in that cyclical sense from the times before I finally like decided to get weight loss surgery and decided to actually do something about my weight and my health. I think I would call the phases something different. Like I was never trying to like manipulate people or whatever, but I will say I can empathize with some of the things in the cycle, like being all gung-ho when you start. You love the planning phase, you love the meal prepping phase, you love all that, but then it slowly deteriorates. And like, I think that's really common amongst people who want to lose weight, but don't know where to start or aren't fully like committed to wanting to lose weight for good. I just think it's an interesting thing to witness like over and over and over again on her channel. And I do think that she plays it up sometimes because she does know it exists. And that is something that we will talk about. That actually brings me to my next section of the video before we get into like the actual like timeline of things, because there are like some fun facts that I probably won't mention. Not even fun facts, they're just like things about Amberlynn and her channel that I won't mention like in the timeline, but like are usually always happening or are of note or whatever. So these are usually always happening at some extent during her content, but I'm just not going to get into it like in the actual timeline that I'm going to cover. First off, it's important to know that Amberlynn has 3 animals. She has a dog named Twinkie, 2 cats, one's named Rarity and one's named Wasabi. Amber loves journaling and has an excessive hoard of journals that have just gone unused because she buys so many of them whenever she goes out. And that's the same with earrings, and that's the same with perfume. And that's all to say that there's a lot of speculation that Amberlynn has a shopping addiction, because there are compilations on YouTube when you search them of Amberlynn just like buying shit she does not need. Next thing is that Amberlynn's sleep schedule always has been and probably will always remain fucked up, and she will always let you know about it.
I just woke up a little bit ago. I'm like back to my bad sleeping schedule. My sleep has been crazy. I'm having a hard time like falling asleep at a decent time. Like I have been struggling with my sleep. My sleeping schedule is insane. Sleeping is really bad.
Honestly, same. Going off of that too, it's blatantly obvious that Amberlynn very much like clickbaits her health, her weight, her eating in thumbnails for views. And she used to claim that YouTube picked those thumbnails for her, but I think she has since let that that narrative go. Amberlynn will always seek out the help of health professionals for her weight or her nutrition or her mental health or whatever. And she'll be so excited and she'll be so like, yes, let's do this. And then one way or another, she will come to the conclusion that they don't work for her, or she thinks she knows what's best for her more than they do. And so she'll usually just quit seeing that professional. Going off of that also, like, and this will come up later, it was pretty much like a trend because she would not get health insurance for the longest time. I think she finally did, I think like the end of last year into this year, like for 2023, I believe she finally got health insurance. Could be wrong on that, but I'm like pretty sure. But it was always very confusing to people why she didn't have health insurance, because like the engagement that her channel was getting, like there was no way she wasn't making an absurd amount of money from her videos. Because she didn't have health insurance, she would use the ER as like her doctor. So she would go into the ER with any medical issue that she was having, and then she would proceed to get angry or question the validity of the health professional because ER doctors can't give their patients like the same in-depth, like personal examination like a primary care physician would be able to. That being said, it is a running trend that like Amberlynn is terminally unique. Like, and that is, and I've touched on this before with going through a bariatric clinic and stuff like that. Everything that anybody else has to do for like weight loss or dieting or with medical professionals or whatever is like not how Amberlynn should do it. Like that's not how Amberlynn can do it. I think with weight loss surgery, I touched on it. I talked about it in terms of like the very strict procedure that goes along with weight loss surgery before you actually have it. The very strict like checklist that you have to go down before you can have weight loss surgery. And like that is a well-known thing in the bariatric community, that like bariatric surgery is not something most of the time, which if you go to a clinic and it is like this, run, but it's usually not something that like you can just go in and have. Like it's not, and I don't, she's always said that she realized that, but I don't think that she fully did realize how much work it was going to be. And yeah, and so like with that, like we'll talk about the weight loss surgery thing, but she is terminally unique. Nothing that anybody else has ever done to lose weight ever works for her, and that's what's making weight loss so much harder for her. And that's probably all I'm really going to talk about in terms, I'm not going to mention like her weight or numbers or anything like that, but I do think like talking about her mindset towards her weight loss and stuff is important for this video. Amberlynn can't drive. I can't drive either. I don't have my license. But I feel like with her, it's different than me because first of all, I live in a city that has like a kind of decent transit system. And also I feel like, and I'm not saying this to power level or anything, but I am more capable of like walking myself around, getting myself around, than Amberlynn is. That being said, the mobility that Amberlynn does have is astonishing to me, like for her size. And that's something that is always, like has always shocked me watching her. And I do think it's purely just because she's so young. And so I wanted to like end on the few points that like we need to keep in mind for the rest of this. Okay. Amberlynn has said that she has been diagnosed with almost every mental health disorder or mental illness or mental thing under the sun through the course of her having her channel. But she almost always refuses to get help for it, whether it is in the form of like medication or seeking therapy or whatever. She's gone to psychiatrists very regularly, but I think she always got psychiatrists and psychologists, like therapists, mixed up. And so there's that. But even if she does get help or something, she will usually stop taking the medication and or stop going to therapy, which I think a lot of anybody who also struggles with that and seeks treatment in similar avenues knows that that's like not a good thing to do. Her most recent diagnosis is borderline personality disorder, which honestly, knowing what I know about borderline personality disorder, I do think it checks out with her just based on the behaviors that we've seen on her channel. Again, I went to art school. I am in no place to like actually diagnose with somebody with this, but like having known people who have that and then also just like knowing what I know about it because I've researched it because I have my own mental health issues. I have OCD. That's another one that she claims to have, is OCD and OCPD, so obsessive compulsive disorder and obsessive compulsive personality disorder, which are two things that exist. But when I was researching those for myself, I did come along BPD, and I do think it adds up for her. Not that that really matters. She will use this as an excuse throughout her whole channel, pretty much. And I've always been a firm believer that mental health is an explanation and not an excuse for bad behavior. And we'll talk on that a little bit later, but just know, like, that's what we're working with right now. All of that being said, Amberlynn is a troll. And so, like, that is the big thing with her channel, is like, you never know what to take seriously, if anything. Is she trolling? Should we be worried about something? It has been shown to lie and manipulate a lot. And that is also something that we will talk about later when it comes to the different eras. She's also said stuff like this.
I just don't like you because you're inconsistent and you gaslight your audience and mistreat others. Okay. Let's say I do gaslight my audience. Who freaking cares? Who cares? I'm not perfect.
So yeah, those are all like kind of important things, context, just random meme-y things maybe to note before going into everything else. Reaction channels surrounding this community, because I do think that they are a very big part of the community. I think because Amberlynn has a tendency to lie to and manipulate her audience a lot, I do think that's why the reaction channels kind of keep her channel going, because like they keep up with everything. They keep track of everything and they're not quiet about it. And so like even people on like Reddit and stuff like that who don't have reaction channels, like there are like detectives online, and it's something. Like, it is an experience to read as someone who like takes in the content but doesn't do much else, and like it is something to behold, truly. And also, like I said before, I really do think that the reaction channels in particular are what keep Amberlynn's personal channel going, because they transform her otherwise like objectively just boring and lazy content into something that is interesting to watch. One of the first ones I remember seeing was Michael B. Petty, who he no longer makes videos, but I do think he's still pretty active on Twitter or X. Then Zachary Michael is like one of my personal favorites to watch, because they do Amberlynn commentary, but they also do commentary on a lot of other like pop culture-y things, and then their Twitch reactions and their re-uploads on their Twitch reaction re-upload channel are like some of my favorite comfy content to have on in the background when I'm playing video games. But a few other honorable mentions, I guess, are Alex is Shook and Kicking Geese. Alex is Shook has like made his channel be almost like a talk show, and like a gossipy kind of talk show at that, and it's really fun. And he also covers Foodie Beauty and a few other people, some here and there. We just don't talk about Young Dumb Honey Bun anymore, so there's that. Okay, now that we've gotten all of the important like prologue stuff out of the way, let's get into the Amberlynn Eras tour, shall we? In 2013 and 2014, we have the KRYSTAL era. And Amberlynn titled her first video that was titled Nervous and Awkward and Weight Loss Vlog on November 17th, 2013.
Hi, my name's Amberlynn, and I wanted to start a YouTube channel for weight loss. I see a lot of videos of other people doing it, and it's so motivating, and it's just something I'm really, really interested in doing. I'm not even sure what to say. I guess this can be like a little introduction. So my name is Amberlynn, I'm 22 years old. It's Sunday right now, and today was nothing but eating horrible. I've been on a weight loss journey for a very, very long time now. Last time I weighed in was, I think about a week ago. I was at 368 or something like that. I'm probably a little higher now. I'll be weighing in tomorrow, and I can make a video stating my weigh-in. My highest weight was 420, but that's my known weight, so it could be even higher than that. The lowest weight I ever remember being was when I was 11 years old. I weighed 290 pounds. During this current weight loss journey, I made it to 331. That was the lowest I did, and that was about a year ago. I don't know what happened. I've gained over 30 pounds since then. My motivation dwindles at the worst times, and I think making these YouTube videos, it might make me accountable. I just think it would really help me. I watch so many people who make videos, and they're so inspirational, and maybe I can be an inspiration for somebody. I don't know. I'm not really doing this for other people, I'm more so doing it for myself, but if I can help somebody along the way, then that's even better. So here I am. First vlog. And to be honest, I'm recording this, I don't even know if I'll post it. I've done this before, and I kind of get frightened. But let's see how this goes. I'm really nervous right now. I've never talked to a camera like this before. I don't know how people do it. So if you want to subscribe to me, subscribe. And just because this is my weight loss vlog doesn't mean I won't talk about other things, because I will. I'm random, and I like to talk. And I love the YouTube community so much. I'm obsessed with watching videos, all kinds of videos. But yeah, subscribe if you want. And sorry if this is a horrible video quality and I don't know if I'm looking in the right area. This is actually from my iPhone, so yeah. So hope everyone has a great day, night, wherever you are. And I guess I'll end it here. Bye.
She was in Virginia living with her girlfriend Crystal. Crystal Era is honestly, I feel like there's a lot on her channel from that time. But like I said, it was mainly just like weight loss videos. Like it was just like food, exercise, weigh-ins, all that kind of stuff. It's also like not super well documented because Crystal like famously didn't want to be filmed a lot. Amber still shoved the camera in Crystal's face a lot also. Amberlynn has said herself that during her time living here, because she was living with Crystal and her parents, that she didn't have a job, and that Crystal's parents were paying for everything. This era, though, is where we get the famous 89 pounds or 89 lbs, which we would not hear the last about for a very, very long time, if ever. And because this was like the one instance that Amberlynn could use that like she had lost weight before and that she indeed did know how to do it.
I went all the way down to 331, so I lost 89 pounds. When I lost 89 pounds, I lost the 89 pounds. Down to 89 pounds, famous 89 lbs. Just 89 pounds, 89 lbs. Because I did lose 100 pounds. 89 pounds. So 100 pounds by famous 89 lbs. 89 pounds, 89 pounds, 89 pounds, 89 pounds.
Crystal broke up with Amber in 2015. And Amber's video about this was interesting because we do see, it's like the first time that we see her talk about how she essentially makes her exes share a bed with her even after they've broken up. And we'll see that again, and I think it's very manipulative.
Do you guys still cuddle or hug? When we first broke up, we did hug. We didn't cuddle. We were at a very confused state. We do not do any of that anymore. We are completely just over. It's way too hard to be broken up with somebody and still try to do things as if you were in a relationship. It's just not healthy. Do you still share a bed? Is it hard? We do share a bed. I don't see any reason why Crystal needs to buy a new bed, because if I do, and when I do plan on moving, they'd have an extra bed. There's no reason for it. I don't want them to waste the money. Friends sleep together all the time. We aren't close in the bed, we kind of just sleep.
So from 2015 to about 2017, we have the Destiny era. And the Destiny era on Amber's channel is really when people started to see a different side of Amberlynn. And honestly, where a lot of like the lore starts, I guess. Amber moved in with Destiny coming right from Crystal. And we will notice that that is a recurring pattern with Amberlynn and her partners. Amberlynn is clearly like super in love with Destiny throughout this whole time. And then in her relationship following this, spoiler alert, they break up, Amberlynn will say that for the first year with her partner after Destiny, she was still very much in love with Destiny. Some notable characters in the Destiny era are Destiny, Gracie the Cat, Casey, Damon White, Dana, and Walmart. So with Gracie the cat, Gracie was a cat that I think Destiny had when Amberlynn moved in with her. And they also had a dog. And the story goes that like Amberlynn was letting the dog outside and the cat got out, and then Gracie went with the dog and she got lost and was never found. She swore like up and down that this was an accident. And I believe that the two of them confirmed that it was an accident this year when other things like re-emerged this year, which I'll cover later. A lot of the viewers at the time were like convinced that Amberlynn purposefully let Gracie out.
Earlier, I was letting Leia out, the puppy. I had the door open, and I swear to God, a giant ass spider hopped into the living room. When Leia was already outside, how am I gonna get Leia? But then how am I gonna get the big ass spider that just hopped in the living room? So I like ignored the spider for half of a second, and I hurried and grabbed Leia. And then all of a sudden, Gracie, my cat, well, Destiny's cat, but my cat now, she goes booking it outside. My God. I threw Leia down as fast as possible, and I ran out that door like the speed of friggin' lightning. Gracie's okay. She's in the house. Leia's okay. She's in the house. But then I came back in here, and I'm like, cool. There's a giant hopping spider somewhere in the house. But in reality, it was actually a hopping frog. What came in was a frog. What touched my leg was a frog. Tonight is just weird. Today is just a weird day.
The next day.
Our cat got out last night. Not when she got out from me, because I caught her and catched her. We're thinking she wanted to do it in her next opportunity, and she did. We're thinking our friend Jessica didn't notice, but Gracie ran away, and now we're gonna try to find her.
Because not too long after they lost Gracie, Amberlynn adopted her current cat, Wasabi.
This is the first time I've ever adopted anything, any type of animal by myself. We named him Chaplin. He is beyond perfect, and I'm super excited, like literally new family member. Okay, are you guys ready for cuteness overload? Look how short you is. 3. Look!
Hi, editing Megan here. I didn't really cover this a lot in this era, but I just wanted to note too that there's just like ample evidence of both Destiny and Amber being awful pet owners during their time together. I didn't want to cover it too much here because it's sad to hear about, but Destiny even talked about it a little bit when she reappeared this year in 2023, which we'll talk about when we get to that time. But yeah, I just want to say I know that all exists, but I didn't really cover it here because like, holy shit, it's really sad. So the nursing home job. During this time, Amberlynn and Destiny both worked as PCA workers at a nursing home. What Amber's position was, I think is still speculated on, but she says that she was a PCA worker, and I think Destiny was also a PCA worker as well. Either way, Amberlynn vlogged relentlessly at this job and sometimes got like some of the residents in her videos, which like I'm pretty sure is not fully legal, if at all. And she also had coworkers who asked not to be filmed, but she filmed them anyways.
All right, goodbye. Have a good one. Ow, ow, you just broke my back. Why are you flopping like a bird? She needs help. She has issues. Issues. That really did hurt. Someone's coming. Hold on a minute.
Whoever comes by tonight on the KRYSTAL fan, I don't know how.
Okay.
Somebody done it. I don't know how they done it.
Okay.
It can be fixed, but they ain't got the 72 like I like them.
Okay. We'll get it fixed.
Good, thank you.
You're welcome. Have a good night.
You too. Both of you.
Thank you.
I think you will.
Yeah.
We will.
Tired on your feet.
Oh yeah, my feet are definitely tired. Good night.
Moo can't come in.
Okay, so there's a tornado warning and we're at work right now. I get off in an hour, so I gotta go bust my ass real quick. Mama, what you
The
doing?
same thing except
I can't walk very.
You can't walk very fast? You wanna go sit in one of those chairs? I gotta wipe down the tables and stuff since y'all just ate.
You want me to help you walk the table?
I don't need help. I got it. Love you, Moo.
Tell me what you want me to do.
Just go sit over there. Oh, did you guys notice that I have, instead of a hoop, I put little. Did you notice that, actually? Let's get real. Yeah, I used to always just have a little thingy like that, but the only reason why I have it now is because I have makeup on my nose. But I kind of prefer it. What do you think? You don't know?
That one better.
You like this one better? Why, thanks.
Card out, Mimi. You can't
Oh.
be in here.
Destiny.
I'm not gonna eat in here. You can't be in here. You can't be in here, Moo.
Mama, this is the office, okay?
It's for employees only.
So on May 6, 2016, Amberlynn would post her first mukbang, which was her eating spicy or hot Cheetos, and it was called Mukbang Eat With Me Spicy. And this would be the start of a very long trend of mukbangs on her channel. And I think it became a trend because Amberlynn's mukbangs like famously started performing the best out of like any of her other content. And I mean, looking at them objectively, they're just easier content to create. And a lot of people speculate also that, myself included, that this was kind of like feed content as well. Her views on mukbangs change like throughout the course of her YouTube career, because she's always going back and forth on whether they are helping her lose weight or hindering her from losing weight. Because sometimes she says that like they keep her more accountable for for how much she's eating and all of that kind of stuff. But then other times she'll say that like she can't focus or concentrate on how much she's eating, so they cause her to overeat, so she just shouldn't do them. The jury's still out on in 2023 as to how she feels about them. I don't believe she's posted one in a while, but she does say, she has famously said that if she was worried about money, she would start doing mukbangs again. Hi again. So we're going to be talking about the Casey situation in regards to Amberlynn right now. Just a trigger warning here for DV and just toxic relationships in general. I have this video chaptered out to the best of my ability, so if you don't think this is going to be helpful for you, feel free to skip to the next chapter. Okay, bye. So with Casey, this is probably one of the most notable things to come from like the Destiny era, if not just Amberlynn's presence on YouTube at all. What happened is that Amberlynn posted a now deleted video. This is one video that actually got deleted, called "In an Abusive Relationship, I Was Raped." She stated that her ex Casey had abused her when they lived together. After that, Casey came out and said that what Amberlynn said Casey did to her, Amberlynn actually did to Casey. We never got like a full answer on who was telling the truth or whatever. And a lot of people are very divided on this. And I don't really, this was something that like I felt like I needed to cover. As a survivor of SA myself, I am never one to question stories when I don't have a lot of context, you know, and I really feel like we don't have a lot of context here. At least that I could find. And if I'm missing something, let me know. Let me know if I'm missing that, because this is important. In response to this video, though, we did get the infamous poem titled "Speaking Up," which is still quoted to this day.
Speaking Up by Amberlynn Reid. Let's see. Who does everyone believe? Let's start gambling our life, rolling dice like knives on a platter. Who will survive? Will it be the false nightmare you spit, or the reality I have tied to a place of sadness, and now revealed and altered to madness? Why are you going to break the tide and just leave it there? Break the ice and throw the stone and not think twice? Why are you going to play your sins and call me twice? Twice the lies, twice the price, twice the vulgar manipulated web. Spider to friend, friend to spider, enemy, grudge, and love lost. Using my name to put yours in lights? What happened to all the fights, all the times they turned into goodbyes? No, I am not perfect in any way. No inside the lines, no glitter outside, no gracefully worded rhymes. No playing perfect like you've begun a show that keeps haunting me. The haunt is the demon I'm trying to escape. Escape the pain and outwardly insane. Escape the thoughts and online taunts. Just admit you were wrong and play a different song. Admit the guilt you've sown like a misguided basket case of poison sentences. My life is my story, but yet you've written a chapter. The chapter has torn pages, scribbled words of false advertisement. I'm my own narrator, yet you stole the pen to deny, to lie, to pry in a life that was fine. Here are the facts. You lied about your name right off the bat, but still called me insane. You put a ring on my finger, promised me forever, yet you kissed her. You kicked and screamed till it was making hate. Forget making love when the love was gone. Rain and petals eavesdrop. I used the wrong word. Rain and petals eavesdrop. I used the wrong word. Rain and petals eavesdrop. I used the wrong word. My mental hygiene has been rotten and stirred. Abuse in the picture frame. Put on a smile. What I see behind the fake. Glass reflecting. Noise destroying. Shimmer clatter. Frame breaks. I don't understand your left hand connected to your heart, but it's so cold. Cold enough to ruin me. Listen, my heart doesn't beat for you. I don't bleed for you. I don't need you. Social media needs this. A drama story. Something to decipher. Something to dissect. To entertain. To observe. To twist and to melt over. It's not fair for strangers to pick a side. A side to bash and a side to hate. A side to love and a side to hash. Hash out propaganda. I'm not on this ride for beliefs. No bashing, lashing, tasteless hashing. I want to be understood. To cowardly clarify, I'm going to say bad choices don't make you a bad person. Almost 7 years have glided, 2,555 days, 61,320 hours. I've cried, I've laughed, I've loved, I've lost, I've tackled, exposed, won, succeeded, failed, I've grown, I've learned, I've moved on, healing along the way. The moon moved from the sun and roses blossom on my favorite weed. As I place a hand on my blood-red heart, hoping one day it'll all be gone. Everything written with unhealthy circumstances, all the tears that stain my pillowcases, the cruel, hateful comments I received in anger, the wrong assumptions everyone made, the thought of wishing myself off this jaded earth and the lies you placed in my reality. Specked and spiked and broken down, still standing through all the sound, tearing apart at the seams, I covered all the screams. Screams so silent yet so loud, profound, profoundly intense, and ending this final dance. Knowing what you did and saying you didn't. Such a lovely story.
And another thing to note about this is that Casey is a trans man, but Amberlynn dated Casey before he transitioned. And in the video that she made about this situation and in following live streams, because one thing about Amberlynn is that she loved a You Now, okay? She loved a You Now live stream. She would constantly misgender him, use his dead name, and despite being told over and over and over again that, like, that's not okay. And her response was always like, well, I knew him as this, and I knew him as this. And, like, that was her reasoning for being able to, like, dead name him on her platform.
I feel very strongly about this, and I feel like it's okay for me to say her name because she's transgender now, so she's not longer, so I'm able to say her name because she's a once was person. Like, is no longer here anymore, obviously. I'm not gonna say his new name because we're talking about her. Transgender talk is too confusing, so we're just gonna leave it as that. Talking about everything that Casey lied about when we first started dating, the things that I went through while being with her, more things.
They're all freaking out because you keep calling Casey to her. Okay.
I'm sorry. When I was with her,
Cassidy,
I was with her as a girl. So I'm talking about Casey, the girl that I was with. That's who she was. But they know her as Casey, so it's confusing. It's confusing. Trust me.
So the next thing of note in the Destiny era is the Aunt Tammy drama, because this is one of the weirder things that Amberlynn has lied about, and we know that she lied about it, which comes from something I'm going to talk about after this. She claimed that in a video, her aunt, who was her mom's sister, didn't talk to her anymore because of her weight. But her aunt wound up going on kiwi farms and say that it was really just because of Amberlynn's behavior. And that leads me to the infamous video called confessing everything I've lied about, ! Frowny face. This is a video where she literally has a list written of things that she has lied about on her channel up until that point. And this includes the Aunt Tammy story. But then she also mentions lying about the reason she wound up moving from Florida to Kentucky with Destiny. She talks about how she's lied about her weight, about Destiny's weight gain. She admits that her job at the nursing home was part-time and it wasn't full-time like she made it out to be. And she also lied about the state of her blood pressure.
I do have a list of things I want to talk about. So the first thing, some of these you guys might not care about or whatever, but the reason why we moved to Kentucky, I said it's because Destiny wanted to be there for her mom. I said we wanted to take care of her. I think I might have said that in a vlog. I don't know why, but it's not the truth. We were just tired of Florida. No, my aunt, she didn't stop talking to me because I'm fat. She stopped talking to me because of the issues I brought upon her, I guess. And if she's watching this, I am so sorry, and I really I wish I could change. The next thing is my weight. This thing is about my girlfriend Destiny's weight gain and if she's actually gained weight. Something else I've lied about is the job I had in Florida. I was part-time. I was always on call. but I was part-time. Something else I've lied about is my blood pressure.
From this video, we got very iconic clips such as these.
I want her to lose weight more than I want myself to lose weight because I care about her and love her more than I love myself. And when I see her eat something that's bad for her, it breaks my heart because she doesn't understand nutrition like I do, and I don't, like, who's gonna listen to me? Look at me, you know, that's just how it goes. I just want to be a healthy person. Like, this video is so raw, you guys. Fuck me. Like, damn. Excuse my language if you're young.
After this, we meet Damon White, and Damon White is nothing more than just a sock account that Amberlynn used to infiltrate Facebook groups talking about her, because this was a time when Facebook groups were very much still a thing. And she was using it to, like, defend herself, but also, like, clown on herself, which was really interesting. And she also chose to make him a gay black man, which, like, I don't know why that feels so odd to me, but it just feels like a microaggression, and it just something there does not sit right with me. So after this, we found out this year because Destiny had came forward in live streams and started talking about her experiences dating Amberlynn, and we found out about this. And I think the detectives on the internet put it together that it is right now in the timeline that I'm talking about when this happened, and that is the Code Red incident. Destiny alleged, and I am inclined to believe, that Amberlynn attempted to emotionally manipulate Destiny when she was going to see her mom. Amberlynn did not want her to go, and threatened to unalive herself, and then threw a can of Mountain Dew Code Red at Destiny during this argument.
I got into a big fight at some point, and I don't know what we were arguing about, but then I think either my mom or my mammy called me about going over there because my mammy was going to my mom's, and she was like, hey, we're going to cook. You guys should come over. And I was like, heck yeah. You know, like, I was ready to go. I hadn't seen my mom in a little while. I was ready to go over there and eat some good dinner and what have you. Well, Amberlynn didn't want to go, and I said, that's fine. You don't have to go. Because, I mean, like I said, all that drama from before with her and my mom, they were just tense. But she didn't want me to go. And I was like, okay, well, it's been a little while since I've been over there. Just, you know, I'm going to go over there. And she was just, like, throwing a big, just fit. I don't know how else to describe it. She was crying, and I know it was a Code Red Mountain Dew in my hand. She will swear to you that this didn't happen. I've talked to her about it before. She swears it didn't happen. So I don't know why she thinks that, but why would I make this up? I would try to walk out of the house, and I know I had this Code Red Mountain Dew in my hand, and I'm just like, I'm gonna go. I'm just gonna go. So, and because we were already arguing, I was like, I don't want to be around you anyway right now. Like, we were arguing. I wanted to go see my mom. She starts screaming at me from the sliding glass doorway, saying that she's gonna harm herself if I leave, and I don't know, just all this stuff, you know, just going nuts. And then I was like, no, you won't. You know, I said, that's not something to play around with. Just let me go see my mom. And she starts, like, coming at me, you know, like, ooh, ooh, ooh. So I get in my car, and I leave the can on my top of my car, and I close the door real quick, and I lock the door, and she's, like, telling me to get out, all this stuff, and she ends up throwing the can at my car, made me mad. And I want to say I ended up not going. I don't think I did. I'm, like, 98% sure I did not go to my mom's. I ended up just going back inside and dealing with her.
Amberlynn maintains that this is not true, and if it did happen, she must have blacked out, and Destiny must have made it up. Covered this more in depth in another Amberlynn video, which I'll link those videos down below, where I covered certain things happening this year more in depth. But I don't think Destiny is a saint by any means, and Destiny doesn't act like she's a saint by any means, but I do believe her in this instance. The reason why this was important in the timeline is because after this, we get, like, the Giftpocalypse. And what happened is that basically after this incident, but before Christmas of 2016, Amberlynn smothered Destiny with Christmas gifts early. And, like, listen, my love language is giving people gifts. I love giving people gifts. Besides birthdays, Christmas is my Olympics, okay? But even by my standards, like, this was fucking wild, the amount of stuff.
Hey guys, so happy November 6th. We had the day off today. We ran some errands. We came home. I started to clean. And then Destiny turned on our song, which is Thinking Out Loud by Ed Sheeran. We started dancing together. And then I was like, hey, Destiny, you want to open one of your gifts? Just, I don't know, just out of the freaking hell of it. She opened one, then another, and then another, and then this happened. Ready? Like, this happened. You made the cats run. Did that hurt?
No.
And I think at this time it was alleged and possibly has now been confirmed that, if I'm remembering correctly, that Destiny was already kind of talking to somebody on the side. People have speculated time and time again that this was Amber's attempt to buy Destiny's love back. But it didn't work because in January of 2017, Destiny broke up with Amberlynn and started dating her coworker Dana. I brought up Dana as a notable character in the beginning of this chapter because Destiny and Dana would still appear in vlogs with Amber. A lot of times with when Amber starts dating her next partner, Beck. And it was like always on like double dates, and it was painfully obvious that Amberlynn was still like very much flirting with Destiny like a 14-year-old schoolgirl.
You're gonna have popcorn? Popcorn and candy, duh. You can't go to the movies without popcorn and candy.
Destiny, do you hate me?
Yeah.
Dana, do you hate me?
No, if I did, I would tell you.
Exactly.
I did, so.
You're a lie.
There was always this weird like passive aggression tension between Amberlynn and Dana, and it's something that is talked about and referenced quite a bit during this time. But after all this happened, we would get a couple videos from Amber where she talks about how she essentially manipulated Destiny into sharing a bed with her after the breakup.
On January 13th, ironically enough, it was actually Friday the 13th, Destiny broke up with me. Since then, I have filmed videos, I've put on fake smiles, I have cried every single time I shut off the camera. I have screamed in my pillows. I have questioned if I am worth anything, why she broke up with me, or what happened. That whole thing is very, like, up to Destiny. I am so in love with her still, and I want her to know that, like, I've told her that I will never give up. Some of you were like, well, how come she's still in the vlog? Like, why did she say single if she's still in the vlog? We do still live together. We don't want to lose each other in the sense of, like, being friends and stuff. And we're even still sharing the same bed. I know a lot of you are going to be like, what? It's very much an attachment thing. I feel like I'm honestly not gonna be able to sleep alone. I just feel my anxiety and my depression is through the absolute roof.
And we also get the iconic wine drunk Valentine's Day video.
Happy Valentine's Day. I'm a single freaking Pringle. A month ago, actually yesterday, I got my heart broken, and we're gonna celebrate Valentine's Day together, and I'm celebrating it by drinking by myself. Girl, okay. And I might talk about Destiny. You guys might get some details of stuff. And I want to let you guys know that I am obese, obviously, but I'm very much a lightweight, and I have not eaten all day. I don't fucking know. Like, I'm so dumb. Girl, would Destiny do that? I don't know. She surprises me lately. She'd probably do anything. Okay. Honestly, though, Destiny does have a girlfriend. They started dating yesterday. I don't really know what to think. Like, everyone is like, oh my god, what is even happening? Like, how is this even happening? And I'm over here like, I don't care. I mean, I do, but I don't. And you're like, bitch, why ain't that me? No, I don't know. I scum on her toes. No, that's a joke. I gave her parts of me that I've never given anybody, because I always told myself I'm gonna be waiting for the right person and for the right time, and everything with her felt perfect. I feel like I'm handling myself really well. Be on point. Your questions just slayed my life. I don't remember any of them. I'm eating my grapes for the day. We'll be loving you till we're 70. I need to get the fuck out, like Donkey Kong. I told her, like, I don't know if I'm actually gonna get drunk. Like, is this gonna be fun? Like, get drunk sometimes, get it in. Like, I don't give a fuck what you do, but have a good fucking life. Peace.
Some other notable events and memes from this era are, she had a vegan arc. She may have had a few, even when she's with Beck. I can't remember, but primarily I remember them being with Destiny.
So, guess what? Fat girl going vegan is happening here now. I'm here to share the experience. Like, a lot of you are like, so you're going vegan? And I'm like, no girl, no. I'll never be a vegan. Vegan is not just about food, it's about a lifestyle. Leather, certain medicines, most medicines. There are so many things. Tampons. Every single tampon brand, I'm letting you guys know, is tested on animals. And there's like a whole science behind it. Please Google it, because I just skimmed the article one day, so don't take my word for it, but every single tampon is not vegan. Like, I'm just letting you guys know that. So it's like, how am I ever gonna become vegan? Not gonna happen. But can I make better choices and changes? Yes, you guys just saw me eat eggs, and I had a chicken flavored freaking ramen. Like, I'm never gonna be perfect. My point is that veganism is amazing, and I literally could cry just thinking about it. We are all earthlings on this planet. We are here to live, to feel, and to die of natural causes. We have no right whatsoever to kill another living thing. Said she was only a vegan for 4 days. She already is back to eating crap like she was before. No, I was a vegan for 6 days actually. And the process of being a vegan is so freaking hard, and I went vegan overnight. A lot of people don't do that, honestly. A lot of vegans have messaged me, private messaged me, commented, and said this is a process, and how they were vegetarian for like 13 years. Some were like vegetarian for 6 years. Some were vegetarian their whole life since they were born, and then they switched to veganism, and they're like, this is a process and you will make so many mistakes. Might even go weeks with eating meat and then try being a vegan again. And something about being a vegan is it's really just about limiting the harm done to animals. It's not about being perfect. Vegans are not perfect. And I'm getting just a tremendous amount of like people saying, well, you take medicine, so you're not a true vegan. Like, I'm sorry, but if I'm on my deathbed, yes, I will take medicine. It's not about being perfect. It's about trying to spread awareness about the harm that is done to animals. I don't really know what else to tell you guys about that. Currently right now, I am eating meat today, probably. I haven't eaten a single ounce of anything. I'll probably eat a little bit of meat today.
I always ride the Walmart scooters around. Amberlynn would say that like she wore the wrong shoes or that everybody did it or whatever.
You know the funniest thing? At this Walmart, everybody and their mother uses this thing. This is what I am getting though. Yes, I'm sitting on one of these because my foot hurts really bad, but stupid doing it. But I really do it because of my heel spur, and I've had a really long day and I'm wearing the totally wrong shoes and it hurts really bad. We should not discriminate against who uses these versus who don't, because that's kind of messed up. So
but regardless of what her reason was, they would very rarely like put them back where they belonged, so they wouldn't be charged for people who actually needed them after they used them. I have this clip saying that she's the queen of moderation, which is the source of many, many, many jokes in this community.
know that I'm the queen of like moderation.
Throughout this whole thing, and Destiny talked about this in her videos as well, but there's just a general oversharing of Destiny. Like, we see too much of Destiny without Destiny's explicit consent. And Destiny has confirmed that she did not explicitly consent to like having her like butt crack on camera, or like being half naked on camera, or like seeing Destiny coming out of the shower on camera. And there's just a lot of oversharing. And this is a pattern that happens a lot on Amberlynn's channel, is just her lack of respecting people's boundaries by shoving the camera in their faces at times where they probably don't want it.
And then I also noticed that she showed my butt crack a lot. I don't know why it is, but I have a long butt crack. I try to keep it maintained, but sometimes it's out. And I try my best to keep it covered up, but you know, it happens. But she didn't have no reason to be posting my butt crack on YouTube.
Hi, it's me again. We are about to get into the Beck era, and I talk about this later, but I just want to say it now because I'm editing it now and I'm realizing how often I slip up, and I'm sorry. But Beck does go by Beck now. When Amberlynn was dating Beck was going by Becky and using she, her pronouns. They now use they, them pronouns. I still slip up and use Becky interchangeably, but I'm trying my best, and I just wanted to apologize before we even got into this. Okay, bye. So after the Destiny era, then we got into the Beck era. And I feel like the Beck era is probably one of the most like well-known ones from Amberlynn's channel, because at least for me, it was the time that I started watching Amberlynn, or I became aware of Amberlynn. And I think that's about the time that a lot of people became aware of Amberlynn as well. Beck was a viewer of Amberlynn, and then they actually reached out to make sure that Amberlynn was okay, because they noticed the amount of like hate comments that Amberlynn was getting. And Beck has later confessed that at the time they started talking online, they were not looking for a relationship, but Amberlynn went to go meet Beck. I believe Dana drove her there to go see Beck. She went to go meet Beck for like a week-long visit, and then she I don't think she ever really left. And just for clarification, during the time that Amberlynn and Beck were together, Beck was going as Becky, and at the time they were using she, her pronouns, but now their name is Beck and they go by they, them pronouns. Notable characters during this time are Beck, Eric and Ricky, Hannah and Rafe, and Casa Grande. So in 2017 and 2018, Amber moved in with Beck, and there was a lot of drama with mutual friends named Hannah and Rafe. And in order to explain this, I need to introduce you to Eric and Ricky as well. Eric and Ricky during the Beck era were Beck's friends, like before they met Amberlynn, and they all lived together. And so Amberlynn moved in with all of them. Hannah and Rafe were some of Beck's friends also before Amberlynn came into the picture. I think they all went to Pride together. Like they did a bunch of stuff. They were very like recurring people on Amberlynn's channel. And It was then brought to Amberlynn's attention through Eric that, Eric and Ricky, by the way, are married. I forgot to mention that. It came to Amberlynn's attention through Eric that Rafe had told him that Rafe felt that Amberlynn was fake and that she was hard to get along with and get to know. And I think it was Eric that told her that. I can't remember how she found out, but she found out, and her and Beck were not happy. There was also some drama that when Amberlynn was moving in with Beck to the house, I think one of the cats was Rarity, I believe, was with Hannah and Rafe because they were watching the cat because Amberlynn was trying to find a new place to live. That is what I can remember. That was not Spade. And this was an issue. It was causing an issue, and so Hannah and Rafe had the cat Spade, and this caused chaos between Amber and Beck, and like it was Amberlynn and Beck. It was a whole thing, and yeah, so there was a lot of drama with Hannah and Rafe. Eric and Ricky kind of just remained during this whole saga, during this whole era, as like quirky little side characters. And they never failed to shade Amber in like the sneakiest little ways throughout this whole thing. And Eric actually had his own vlogging channel for a while, which a lot of people went to for different perspectives of things that Amberlynn was showing on her channel, because I think it was about around that time, maybe it was a little bit like earlier, but that people started to realize how much Amberlynn curates her content. Hannah and Rafe have recently come out and made like a statement and started a YouTube channel. Also, it was soon after Destiny came out to talk about everything, also saying that being Amberlynn's friend was a traumatic experience, and like having that experience with her online so publicly was a traumatic experience as well. So there's that. Like I said, everything on Amberlynn's channel is there. There's only a few things that have ever been deleted. For the most part, it's all there. And so there are a few other documented instances of Amber using racial slurs on other platforms on social media. But there's also this one that's like still up on her channel.
Wait, I like the black one better because black on black on black on black.
Oh, of course you
When
would.
did I become such a blackie?
Don't say that.
Wait, what do you mean?
That doesn't sound good.
It's like emo.
During the Beck era is when we also start hearing Amberlynn refer to her BED as the binge monster. And she refers to it this way because she said it's the best way that she can explain it, because it's caused her to basically like black out any type of like physical or emotional abuse of Becky, because that's what it was. When she wanted to binge and maybe Becky wouldn't go get her the food or whatever.
Trust me, I feel guilty for binging because it's not me when I'm binging. Like, Becky has been there when I binge and she tries to help me. So like I get mad. I got mad. I just get very angry if I don't get my way during a binge, and I feel like I'm being possessed by somebody because it's not who I am. And I remember after the binge, which was, I regret it, but I remember after the binge, Becky was like, "You're really mean to me because I kept saying no." And I was like, I don't even remember that. I'm not like that, like when I'm not binging. Do you get what I mean? And I just feel bad, and it's like, I don't know, like I'm upset that I did that, but then it's like, I'm also proud that it's only been twice this month.
She stayed very, very consistent with that sentiment up until this year, but we'll talk about that a little bit later. I think up until this point, Amberlynn did get some criticism for how she treated her animals or didn't treat her animals. But this time was the first time that her audience ever took it upon themselves to call animal control. She still does receive constant criticism about how she raises her animals, but at this time her dog Twinkie was like severely overweight for being a Chihuahua, and for a long time had really, really overgrown nails. And like I said, in 2017, this was the first time that one of her viewers called animal control, and Amberlynn made a video about it and said that the animal control guy said that Twinkie was fine and that she was just really well taken care of. And yeah,
But for a minute there, I thought that he was going to be like everyone else. I thought that he was going to believe what was said about me. But thankfully, he was here to witness. So he said that this person said that Twinkie's nails are super, super long. He said that Twinkie supposedly had scabs all over her, that she has been wounded and hit. that she's overweight and all this nonsense stuff. So he took a look at her. I was holding her most of the time, but he wanted a picture of her because he wanted to send off and let him know, and he said in his words, that professionally, Twinkie looks great. Obviously I was like, yeah, I know she is a little bit overweight. I kind of feed her too much. That's never a bad thing. If you feed your animal too little, then yeah, that is a little bad. So I was very like offended that someone literally who watches me called and said that Twinkie has wounds all over her. Twinkie doesn't have a scratch on her body. Again, he said that her claws are perfect, and he said that in his words. It's just the guy said she looked fine and she looks good. I don't know what you guys were trying to do, but you failed miserably.
But other people who know what it takes to care for a Chihuahua say otherwise. Then Twinkie has actually lost some weight, and I believe her nails are under control, but many people worry about Amberlynn's ability to properly take care of Twinkie, especially as it pertains to taking Twinkie for walks and keeping her as active as she needs to be for being a tiny little dog with a lot of energy. 2018 or 2017, I have them lumped together in my notes for some reason. We would see the Instagram dietitian saga, where Amberlynn famously had a dietitian reach out to her via DM on Instagram, offering to help her with her nutrition. Now, I don't think this dietitian ever showed any proper credentials showing that they could do what they were stating to do, but Amberlynn introduced this person as a concept while eating a meal from Burger King.
I have a dietitian, y'all.
And then came on a little while later, like in a few videos later, saying that the person had blocked her on Instagram. Presumably because of Amberlynn's retelling herself, Amberlynn was being kind of a menace to this girl and not leaving her alone.
That's what she said to me. Good job staying in the calorie limit. If I would make one recommendation, try to fit at least one fruit or vegetable into your day. Great step in the right direction though. One step at a time. Okay. This was after the whole Burger King mukbang. People went crazy on it. They were just like, you shouldn't be eating this, you shouldn't be eating this, you have a dietitian, you're fat, you're gonna die, and all this stuff. I messaged her and I said, okay, my new video is getting a ton of backlash. Well, all my videos do because people are indeed psycho, lol. But this one is getting the same response from pretty much everyone. You're going to die eating that Burger King. So according to what you told me, I'm allowed to eat it as long as it fits into my calories. That meal was about 1,000 calories, which left me with about 1,600 more calories for the day. What are your thoughts? She replied with, sorry, I was driving to blank for Thanksgiving. Weight loss alone, yes, that's fine. If it's in your calories and done, when considering health, yes, it's not great to eat. High in fat and sodium, which are both bad for the heart, which is especially bad if you have underlying conditions. You get checked out by the doctor yearly, right? With labs and all. But I just want to say, the Burger King, she said it was totally fine. I stayed under my calories. It was totally fine. Eating Burger King underneath a calorie deficiency, I will lose weight. But eating it every day is very, very bad for my health. These are two things that I do know. This is the last time I heard from her. But this is around the time where people were going crazy in my comments. And I want you guys to know that this person, she was my dietitian, but she was also a subscriber. She was a viewer. People were saying horrible things about, oh, Amberlynn probably doesn't have a dietitian, and if she does, her dietitian is absolutely stupid, and just saying horrible things. I feel like it got to her because this is what happened. On Thanksgiving, I sent her happy Thanksgiving. On the 28th, which was 6 days later, I said, would you care if I read some of our conversations in a YouTube video? And the reason why I asked her that question is because I wanted to share with you guys some of the positive information and very helpful information that she has told me I wanted to share with you guys. She didn't reply. 7 hours later, I just sent her 2 question marks. I was just like, okay. It's been probably a week. And I said, have you decided to just no longer speak to me? I sent it and closed my phone. It's been a few days and I just now looked at our text messages and that text didn't deliver. And usually when it doesn't deliver, it means you're blocked. So I sent her a message and I said, so you considered me your client, but now you're just ignoring me. You told me I can text you when I needed anything. If you didn't want to continue helping me, it would have been nice if you would have told me. So when I sent that text, I was like, please send. It didn't send. So then I ended up going to the original Instagram and sending her the same message and she hasn't replied. I'm confused on why she blocked me. I think the one thing that really got to her was just the comments. The comments, and I don't think she wanted to be a part of that negativity. I can lose anybody due to horrible comments, but I respect that. I've lost a dietitian because of horrible comments because I can't figure it out. Is there something wrong? I don't know what I did wrong. I'm just like completely like flabbergasted by the whole thing. You guys have to watch what you say. There's people out there who want to see me miserable and want to see me alone. I no longer have a dietitian.
If we're going off of what the majority of viewers think, this Instagram dietitian was never real. So now we're in 2019, and 2019 is kind of like an iconic year in terms of the Amberverse and stuff. And I don't say that like in a positive way because this year is remembered as the year that she reached like her highest weight. She has since admitted that she was bedbound at the time and that she needed Beck's help to bathe. But a lot of stuff happened this year that I cannot leave out. In February of 2019, Obese to Beast reached out to Amber and tried to help her lose weight because like Obese to Beast, that's what he's done. Me and John, you know, me and him go back a long time in terms lives of the lifespan of my channel. Amberlynn gladly accepted his offer to help, but then she kind of came to the point where she claimed to know better for herself, and like their working relationship just kind of ended. Nothing really happened. But after that happened, Amberlynn was messaged by a nutrition coach on Instagram. And this was different than the Instagram dietitian because this was a nutrition coach. And this nutrition coach was telling her they could help all the problems that Amberlynn had with her weight with their magical miracle cure product from Optavia. And Amberlynn bought into this like right away, saying she did hours and hours and hours of research, but really I don't think she did any. And she bought like the most expensive plan that the company offered. Once she received the foods, it's a lot like Nutrisystem, but worse, kind of. She started it and quit within like 24 hours. For those of you who don't know, the reason I'm being so kind of shady about this is because Optavia is an MLM, and I used to make MLM videos on shady, particularly like health and wellness MLMs, and Optavia is on the list for 2024 because I want to bring that back. So be on the lookout for that. But it is like notorious for its very, very low caloric intake that it has you consume every day, and yeah, people basically call it like a really expensive ED.
The thing is, I've done it all. I've tried everything except for weight loss surgery and except for the program that I'm going to be starting within the next week, and I'm freaking out. I'm so excited, you guys. I haven't been this pumped and this amped, this excited and anxious in a very long time. So you guys ready for it? There's a program called Optavia that thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of people do. Optavia is a program where they send you fuelings, is what they call them. They're like fuels. So just to give you a random example of nutrition on this program, which I'm so excited for, we're gonna do a little random factoid here. So this is a biscuit and it has 110 calories. It has 3 fat, 1 saturated fat, 0 trans fat, 20 cholesterol, 350 sodium, which is one of the highest sodiums because this is, to me, a lower sodium diet compared to my normal, trust me. 330 potassium, 13 grams of carbs, 4 fiber, 2 sugar, and 11 protein. And what's great about every single one of these is that by eating 5 fuelings a day, you get all of your vitamins, all the vitamins you need. There's probiotics in all of these. So I'm gonna be feeling good. I would hate to get all of this and be like, okay, where's the science behind it? Even though I've done so much research, I have been obsessed. Like that's all I do lately is just look up stuff about this like crazy. Hey guys, so we are on day 2, February 2nd, and I just woke up. So I'm having a dark chocolate cherry shake, and I'm gonna do a taste test for you guys. I'm gonna put more water in it. Okay, you guys, welcome to day 3. I was getting into my head so bad. Day 1, everything that I ate from the program, I liked. I enjoyed all the tastes. I wasn't hungry at all. Day 2, I wasn't hungry at all either, but the situation was every single thing I tried as my first 3, was it 3? Yeah. My first 3 fuelings, when I'm supposed to have 5 a day, they all were disgusting, and I'm just being honest. So we were having a bonfire, and everyone was sitting around with their hot dogs and their chips and their this and their that, and I'm just like, can't have any of it. Like emotionally, I was a wreck, but like physically, I felt so good. My mind and my brain was like, it's like a fog was lifted. It's wild. It's a really wild ride, and it felt really good, but again, I was living in fear, and I was trying to find tons of excuses to quit. I'm gonna be honest, I was trying to find every excuse to quit, and I found one. So I got to thinking, I was like, how many calories am I eating in a day doing this program? So I logged everything into MyFitnessPal from day 1 and day 2, and it was only about 900 calories. So I got a little freaked out. I honestly was freaking out, I'm gonna be real. A few days ago, I have officially decided not to do Optavia. I have decided this through talking with my health coach, with my girlfriend, with tons of people who are close to me. I thought 800 to 900 calories is not sustainable for someone my weight, and if I was to ever try eating more than that, I would gain weight. It would mess up my metabolism, and I just don't think I'm ready for that low of calorie.
So some stuff happens in between this, and then we get Shrimpgate, and this was the next thing of note to talk about. Now, Shrimpgate started with a video of Amberlynn basically talking about how like she wasn't going to talk about her weight anymore on her channel. She proceeded to post a mukbang of her eating an entire ring of shrimp, and throughout this whole thing she was very condescending to her audience. She was very like lectury to her audience.
So the topic for today, mukbangs and weight loss. This is like such a big thing because Obese to Beast made another video kind of talking about mukbangs, like obese people doing mukbangs and like mixing weight loss with mukbangs. So I personally messaged him because we have talked in private before, like because he made 2 videos about me and then a video about mukbangs. Before the mukbang video, I messaged him. This was before the mukbang video, so before he started talking about mukbangs, I messaged him and just been like, I just asked him like, why couldn't you tell me like in a message that everything you said in the video, why couldn't you tell me? He answered, obviously, and he explained that like mukbangs shouldn't be done by people on a weight loss journey. My whole thing is like, first of all, this is my life. I'm an adult. I can choose what I want to do versus what I don't want to do. No matter what I do, no matter what Chantel does, we're going to get hate for it unless we're doing exactly what you told us to do. But you aren't our moms, you aren't our bosses, you aren't our dads, you aren't our doctors. The fact that people can hate on us so hardcore and judge us so hard over the food we put in our mouth is kind of crazy. And it's actually really healthy, in my opinion. Vegans would probably disagree.
And this caused a mass exodus from Amberlynn's channel because I think at this time people were just getting fed up with her not taking this seriously, because anybody watching could see a serious situation that Amberlynn was in. She just continued to troll about it, and the shrimp thing was what sent people over the edge and caused people to leave. Well, while we're on the topic of Shrimpgate and everything, Amber doesn't seem to understand, because she'd made a video recently actually reacting to the shrimp video and like giving commentary on it now that it's been like 4 years. But she doesn't seem to realize like why people were so outraged by that. And she's like, cause it was only like 200 calories or whatever. And like the issue was not like what she was eating or how much she was eating. It was just the context surrounding the video, and that it was just so abundantly clear to people who at the time had been holding out for her to finally like get it together and like save her life. It was such a slap in the face to them, and I think that's why they wound up leaving. But I will say that that same year in 2019, she also posted some pretty questionable mukbangs, so I thought it was interesting that that was the one that made people leave. But I will say I think it's the way she talked to her audience in that video, because in April of that year, I checked, she posted the potato and sausage mukbang that people reference a lot, and then in September of that year, which would have been after the shrimp video, she posted the whole rotisserie chicken mukbang that a lot of people reference when it comes to Amber. But I will say that I do think it's just the context surrounding that video that people just were not having it anymore, and so they left. In June 2019, Amberlynn made a video reacting to Zachary Michael reacting to her. But in her video, she edited Zach down to make them look really, really bad. And after that, Zach went on his own channel and made a video reacting to her reacting to them, and proved that that's what she did.
She doesn't want to be out here with you.
If she didn't want to be out there with me, she wouldn't have been out there with me. Becky has free will of her own body and her own mouth.
Listen, I'm sure she does. I don't need these shots. I don't need, like... Okay, well, first of all, so now I see what people are talking about, so I'm gonna see what I can include. But she cut out the whole part of Becky talking with her phone literally filming from this angle. So that's what I'm talking about here.
I'm outside, enjoying the day. I'm definitely sitting. I'm sitting in the shade because it's really hot. Amberlynn over there's in the sun.
No, I don't need... These shots are things I don't need. Like girl had the camera like right up here. It's like this is how she's filming. This is me on Amberlynn's iPhone, and I'm filming like, no, like why do you do this? And then what is this? What is Amberlynn doing here? I have a lot of questions. I'm talking about literally, like, I don't understand the camera choices that Becky makes to hold it down here. Like, most people, when they're filming or they're taking a selfie, they film it from above. And so that's why I continuously am confused about the angles that Becky chooses. I think I also mentioned, if I remember correctly, that I don't understand, like, why we're just, like, filming Amberlynn sitting there on this little back cement patio. But I really am not, that face that she just showed there for 2 seconds is not a response to, like, seeing Amberlynn's body. I'm not disgusted by Amberlynn's body. I just want to make that clear, because that's not what I conveyed in the original video, and if she's about to say that here, then girl, a mess.
Literally, it's my back. Like, honestly, he just said these shots are what I don't need, and the face he made when Becky showed my back.
It wasn't about your back. That's not, that face wasn't made in response to your back.
I don't make fun of Amberlynn's appearance.
No, ma'am.
Nothing like that. He always rants about he's not a cyberbully, he doesn't bully people, he's not judging.
I don't think I
anybody.
am.
Becky literally just showed the back of me. That's it.
Again, this is out of context, sis. This is not what happened. Let me repeat for anybody who's new to my channel. That is not what happened in the original video.
He's spazzing out. I don't need these shots. It's my back.
Girl, it was your girlfriend's angle of her face. I mean, at least try to make the stretch that I'm trying to make some comments about Becky's looks. I wasn't, but at least make that, because that would have been more accurate and honest than what you're doing here. It had nothing to do with your back, sis. Couldn't care less about your back. I absolutely could not.
If I was skinny, he wouldn't be saying that. If it was Eric's back, he wouldn't be saying that.
I didn't say it about your back.
He is literally judging me based
I'm
on
not.
appearance, and of course, everyone is totally fine with that because it's Zachary Michaels, the one who...
My middle name doesn't have an S on the end of it. I know that's petty, but that's apparently what we're doing here today.
I think she made the video to like try and paint reaction channels in a more negative light than they had been. But really this just made her look worse because she was caught red-handed. In 2019, during Vlogmas, this is another instance that we see of Amberlynn's continuous mistreatment of her animals, because Twinkie was sick and her nails were also still super overgrown at the time. Amberlynn was expressing concerns for Twinkie's health in a video for Vlogmas because she was struggling to walk and like couldn't jump on the bed, and she was also shaking in pain. Instead of taking Twinkie to the vet, Amber went to Walmart, and then she went out to Chili's for dinner with Destiny, Dana, and Beck. She got a lot of shit for this. Like she received a lot of shit for this, and rightfully so. She came back saying that there was no after hours or like emergency vet in the area, but the online sleuths did what they do best, and they found out that there was one within 20 minutes of where they went out to eat at Chili's.
Today has been kind of a hard morning at the beginning because I noticed Twinkie was acting different last night, and it was just like little tiny things. Like usually when I come home, she'll like jump on me. She likes to jump on the couch and jump onto our bed and stuff like that. And I realized she wasn't doing those things.
Okay.
And what got me really worried is, you guys know how my bed is on the floor. Twinkie wouldn't even jump on that. She went up it.
That's not good. That's not good at all.
Like super slow. And then when she got on the bed, she couldn't really walk.
It's probably her nails. It's probably the nails that you never trim.
And I literally sat there bawling my eyes out because she was in so much pain that she was shaking. So
oh my god, that poor doggy.
I don't really have like any 24-hour vet places, which is kind of dumb in my opinion, because you never know what's gonna happen at freaking 3 a.m. So tomorrow, since it's Monday, I need to call a vet, and it's like an emergency because Twinkie's in horrible pain. I don't know if it's like her joints. I don't know if she, like, while we were home, she like jumped off the couch wrong, or like anything.
So at 3 in the morning, what's today? Monday?
Anything could be happening, and I'm like terrified because like seeing her in pain. I've cried too much about it, but I'm just like really worried, and I hope there's something that the vet could say to make me feel better. Like,
what to make you feel better? Your dog is hurting, dog. Like, who cares about you and your feelings?
you guys. Dear Father.
How about Priority Lynn?
Oh wow.
Gotta go to fucking Walmart with Dana, Destiny, and Becky so we can smell
Oh my god. I think I'm
candles and get more Christmas pillows that we don't need. God forbid we helped our dog.
I'm just gonna get it. And I'm also gonna get Twinkie some treats, some joint pain treats or whatever that helps with her joints. I don't even know. Oh, they are. So I decided not to get the.
Oh, that's how
this is what I was talking about. This hip and joint peanut butter flavor.
Those aren't gonna help your dog. Okay, you need to take your dog to the vet. We're gonna go out to eat now too. Oh, okay. Okay, look at the people around there like, look at these fucking people. I can't. I'm gonna do something I never do. Let's see. Chili's. No. 24/7 vet in Somerset, Kentucky. Okay. This seems promising. The hours, okay. Oh, we need to go to like the website. So about us, locations and hours. Hours of operation, blah, blah, blah. After hours emergencies. During office hours, call the regular clinic and be prepared to dial extension number 30. After hours, the on-call emergency veterinarian can be reached. After hours, emergency fees will apply if your pet must be seen. So it seems to me like it's possible to get your pet into a vet after hours. Now, let's see. We're going to put this in. Directions. Let's see where the Chili's is. Chili's. Somerset, Kentucky. So, the Chili's is a 6-minute drive to the hospital. Dude, I can't. The things that take priorities in this woman's life are astounding to me. I'm not going to buy this whole we're worried sick, we'll go beyond, I'm the best firm. Oh, it's even on the same fucking road. Shocker.
So people called animal control again. Amber, I don't think ever took her to the vet. Instead gave her just some aspirin and then said that she was fine. And Twinkie's still here to tell the tale. So yeah, but not good regardless. So this is something that happened in 2019 that I am not sure what prompted this. I feel like it was after the rotisserie chicken thing, and that could be it. Either way, it was when Amberlynn was wearing press-on nails and fake eyelashes like I am today, and I do often. She went on like a 15-minute long Snapchat rant about her haters and all of that. And like, it was, I remember when it happened, the whole community just fucking exploded. But the big notable thing to come out of that is she looks in the camera with so much confidence and says, "You are all a Dispectful piece of shit." Everybody lost their fucking minds. And that has become a very big meme in this community. So there's that. There you go. I don't know what prompted it. I cannot remember what prompted it, but it happened, and there's that. Hi, editing Megan here again. Sorry. I was actually sorely mistaken when I filmed this, but in the rant that I'm talking about here, she is not wearing fake nails or fake eyelashes. I was actually getting that mixed up with another Snapchat rant that I will show after the one that I just talked about, because in the one where she is wearing the nails and eyelashes, she's like defending Amy's life journey, which, if you're not familiar with Amy's life journey, she is or was, I don't know if she's still making content, but she is or was a creator who has like openly abused her children on camera. So, and she was basically just saying that the only hate she gets, or the only reason she gets hate, is because she's fat. Amberlynn was saying that about Amy's life journey. But yeah, just a little quick clarification here. I got my Snapchat rants mixed up and I apologize.
People will forever find ways to justify their bullying, and that's totally fine. I'm just glad that I'm not that type of person at all. A lot of people are telling me doctor shopping also means that you're finding doctors to suit what you want to be diagnosed to you. I want you guys to know that there is no diagnosis that I want regarding me. It's just crazy that people think that getting a second or a third opinion regarding something where two doctors have said something completely different means that I'm doctor shopping. You guys need to literally do your research and stop putting words in my mouth, because when you do that, you make the rumors go like on a viral note and everyone believes it. But then again, that's for your entertainment, right? That's all part of this process, isn't it? Trying to write Amberlynn's story, Amberlynn's truth, Amberlynn's narrative, trying to create the story of her life that isn't real to suit your guys' entertainment. Literally pathetic. And I will go to my grave saying that majority of you are fucking idiots. And I'm not gonna step down from that. And you know it, your damn self. And if you can look in the mirror every single night and be totally happy with yourself, that makes you even more of a sociopath. So that's sad. And if the people who want to say, you are doctor shopping, if you did your research, you will see that if you go to two doctors who have completely different opinions and diagnosis to something that you're really, truly struggling with and going through, you need to see a third doctor for a third opinion. You take the information that you receive and you talk it over with your doctor. Your main doctor. I don't understand what people can't comprehend about that, but people want to take every aspect of my life and dissect it. They will literally dissect the fact that I'm using a filter on my face right now. What are you doing with your life? But you know what? Sometimes I sit back and I'm like, I'm a lot of people's punching bag. You have a bad day? Come hate on Amberlynn. You hate your life? Come hate on Amberlynn. You need more drama in your life? Come hate on Amberlynn. I am the Amberlynn punching bag, and I'm sure I will see usernames of that very, very title, because that's what people do. They're pathetic in every form. But like I was saying, sometimes I think, and I'm like, I would rather be someone's punching bag than have someone else be the punching bag, because I don't want anyone to deal with the idiots that I have to deal with on a fucking daily basis. And I must have to say, I'm a strong bitch, and I will continue to be a strong bitch. And the best part of the whole thing is that these people think that their shit don't stink, and they cannot take the heat themselves. These people are weak-minded. And that is the reason why it is so easy for them to come for me. Because like I said before, I'm easy to hate. It is a friend to hate me. Whoever can hate me the most gets the most thumbs up. And that's fine. It's because you're weak yourself. You are not happy within your life. And you are a Dispectful piece of shit. I am fucking repulsed right now with, I guess, humanity, social media. So Amy's life journey, you know, hasn't had the best reputation. People dislike her for whatever reasons. But right now she is doing something so amazing, so generous, and putting her time into trying to help people who have either lost their homes in the fire or are having to evacuate due to the fire. And she has 40 thumbs up on her video, thank you, but 233 thumbs down. For fucking why, bitch? For fucking why? Hands down, if this was another YouTuber who wasn't fat, that wouldn't be happening. That wouldn't be happening. Chantel, oh, she is silly. She is fun. She is entertaining. But she's hated for things that aren't even real. Life by Jen, one of the most sweetest people on YouTube. You could just tell that she radiates such a kindness. And her heart is so full and whole and just beautiful, but yet she's hated on? Really? Why? What the fuck did she do?
In 2020, Beck's mom got diagnosed, or had already had, I can't remember, but cancer. And GoFundMe was set up for Beck's mom's treatment and stuff like that. And Beck and Amber made a video promoting this GoFundMe, saying that everyone should watch the ads so that Amberlynn could donate the most amount that she could from the ad revenue, which saying this and asking that of your followers goes directly against YouTube's terms of service. So the video was later deleted. But the other thing that came with this is that GoFundMe's goal was $5,000. And this really made fans angry because, again, during this time, Like, there is no way she wasn't making just an insane amount of money. So people were like, why don't you just help her? And really kind people still did donate. It was later found out and leaked that Amberlynn had sent Norma like very mean voice messages. The voice memos were awful. Like, she was so rude to Beck's mom.
I am not trying to argue with you. That is the last thing I want to do since you just got out of surgery. I don't want to cause any more stress onto you, onto Becky, onto anyone in your family, onto myself, because that's just not going to fix anything. I'm just tired of the added drama onto my YouTube, and I'm tired of not being appreciated when I try to help you the best that I can. And it's just frustrating. This whole situation is super frustrating, and I finally just kind of wanted to speak upon the situation.
So she wanted to speak on a situation that became about her when Norma had just got out of surgery. I will release more.
When we were Facebook friends, I have left comments on your Facebook regarding your cancer. I have asked how you're doing. I have been there in that sense. And, you know, we don't have to really go down the line of, oh, you didn't message me, because I can say the same about you, where not once have you thanked me personally for the money I was going to give you, for the video I made, for the backlash I'm getting for sticking up for you. Not once did you say sorry for any of the things that you have brought to my channel that is in a negative light.
So the next thing on the list is Amber, and I'm not going to spend too much time on this because it was very serious and it's not something to be take lightly or whatever. But Amberlynn was diagnosed with uterine cancer, and it was a very, very hard video to watch that she posted talking about it. She was very emotional, rightfully so. And she wound up having an entire full hysterectomy as the treatment. But one thing I will note is that this wasn't like a wake-up call for her. And then she has also barely done like, if any, follow-up regarding it. So Beck's mom passed, so they went to, her and Amber went with Beck's family to pick out a gravestone. And so naturally Amberlynn had to vlog it because duh. And there's the online detectives put it together. She filmed this TikTok in the car while her partner was outside their family picking out their mother's gravestone. So yeah.
So here's another display of Amber just not caring about anyone else but herself. On this day, her partner at the time had to go and pick up headstones for her late mother.
I'm not sure how it's gonna turn out because I'm not very good at TikTok.
I don't know about you, but I don't think I would feel comfortable dolling myself up and making a silly little video on the day that my partner is really mourning the loss of their mother.
We just dropped off some trash and we are headed about 2 hours from here to my family to finally pick out a headstone for my mom's grave.
And I'm just feeling sort of emotional. And out of respect, I didn't obviously go over there.
In all honesty, I don't think it was out of respect, but probably because of how things ended with Becky's mom.
Yes, I'm part of the family, but I felt like it should be him and the 3 daughters. So tell me, how come the guys who are against gay marriage are the guys who watch lesbian porn and get turned on by it?
Cut to Amberlynn and Beck getting engaged, and she was thrilled, obviously.
I'm engaged, so that is an actual situation. I am shook to the core. It was so special, and it was totally Becky, the way she asked me. We're keeping that private for now. There are a few people who know, close people, but oh my god, I love her so much.
And then Amberlynn enters like what we call the live stream era, where she was very much just like not producing actual content and just doing live streams and stuff. And during this time, she was also really only paying attention to the people who were subscribed, like were paying membership costs to interact with her and super chats, and this made people really angry. And then also people were just accusing her of getting lazy and not wanting to produce actual content and just sat in front of a camera because she really didn't talk that much. They were really boring. They were basically all just Q&As. That's the other thing. That's another thing too, is Amberlynn loves a Q&A. You will almost always see a Amberlynn or a Q&A going on Amberlynn's Instagram because, or her asking for video questions to answer in a video. And again, I think that's just a testament to like maybe her lazy content, because it's okay to do it every once in a while. But if it's like all you post and it's like a majority of all of your videos, like that's boring. But they were all basically Q&As, and she was only acknowledging the people who were paying to talk to her. Other than that, she'd just be like playing on her phone and like not talking and whatever. And they kind of Beck and Amber kind of disappear for a while, and then they come back in a live stream together, revealing that they had broken up. And Beck has said that they instigated the breakup because at the time they felt like they needed to, they couldn't give Amber what Amberlynn wanted or deserved, but also that Beck needed to take time and be single and heal from the death of their mother and other things that had happened in their life up until that point.
Do you want to tell them? Okay. I guess I'm gonna go ahead and just say it. We had broke up. It happened Sunday, and it was initiated by me. But the fact of the matter is I've had a lot of time to think and reflect, and we just want different things in life. You know, Amberlynn wants to leave Kentucky one day, and she wants to see her family, and she wants to move to another state, and it's like, this is my home, and this is where my family is, and I don't want to leave. But I love her. I love her. I love her. But I cannot be the partner that Amberlynn needs right now. I can't. I feel like myself, I don't want any kind of relationship, because I want to focus on myself. I want to grieve my mother properly. It just feels like a different path now.
I can't eat, can't sleep, like typical heartbreak bullshit. Becky doesn't seem bothered at all.
I'm very bothered.
It's just so hard. Because we went from being a small family to this. It's just really heartbreaking. Because I can't imagine you not being in my life. Like this last year has been fucking torture. Like the last 365 days has been what? Cancer, deaths, hysterectomy, this, like
a global pandemic.
God, the pandemic didn't even flash in my brain at all. I can't listen to music. I can't watch movies. I can't watch TV shows because everything makes me think of Becky, and like everything I look at, it's just like nothing feels the same. Like everything just feels so like insignificant, and I just sit here and stare into like the ceiling, and that's been my life for the last few days. But I cannot see myself ever remotely looking at someone like I looked at you. Like nothing is bringing me joy like it used to. I'm not having another girlfriend ever.
I don't want one either.
I mean that.
Same.
Like, I just can't imagine someone else having my love. It's just not. There's gonna be so many things I've noticed about us.
Like I said, you know, with the whole weight loss thing, me and you, we're not helping each other. We're not. It's like when I'm trying to do good, you're like, hey, let's get something sweet, and I can't say no, even though I'm diabetic. I'm working. I have to work on that.
I just want to drink a bunch of alcohol to numb myself, but I know that that's not healthy for me. So I'm actually having to. You know, the craziest part about this heartbreak is there is nothing that numbs it for me. Like, food doesn't help. Nothing helps. Food actually makes me feel worse because that's something that we bonded over. Like, I'm never gonna be able to eat tacos again or spaghetti.
I did like tacos. I did like spaghetti.
I'll go to eat those things ever again. I wish her nothing but the best. And the best is not me. So
you're seeing the breakup right now. You didn't get this.
Now seems like a good time also to mention that Beck has since come out and said that they are very like traumatized from their time with Amberlynn, and they don't know if or when they will ever be ready to date again. So that is also out there now as well. After the breakup, Beck and Amber continued to live stream together, and Amber always said that Beck was going to get like half of the earnings from the live streams because these live streams were raking in a lot of money. That never happened. Beck has now confirmed that that never happened. Amberlynn was just a dick to Beck the whole time, and it was really hard to watch. That's something I'm going to touch on later.
When we first started talking, before I met you in person, you said, My chin is so big that when I look down, I see it. So I was expecting a big chin. Am I the whole buffet? The whole buffet? People are gonna get mad. They're gonna be like, Amberlynn makes fun of Becky. Chin up, babe. Your crown is falling. Becky, you have one chin. Right here. Oh, wait, no. You have like this chin and then this chin.
Oh, yeah. See, I've got 2 chins.
And I have 2 chins. We've talked about this.
Yeah.
I only watched so I can see Becky's amazing face. Liar. Okay, this Stella girl, Becky, I love you and I want the best for you, but I feel like she's trolling. We never kissed. We like never hugged. Like, she never complimented me. I probably didn't compliment her. Like, I wasn't perfect either. There was just nothing. Like, at all. So it's like, I don't know. Nothing has changed, it feels like. Besides, maybe we vibe better because there's not this, like, big, heavy feeling, like, on our chest or on our shoulders anymore. Because it did feel kind of like I was stuck in a cage and I didn't know how to get out. She proposed to me. This is all stuff we talked about, so I'm not throwing shade, okay? She proposed to me, and we were in love, and we had some of our future planned. So yeah, she should feel like fucking utter shit for breaking my heart.
But during this time, Amberlynn meets a girl in the DMs on Instagram. This girl now known as Wifey amongst the community. This relationship on Instagram moved at like lightning speed. While Amberlynn and Beck were still very much living together, and also while they were on stream together, Amberlynn would be texting this girl, laughing and talking about how great she was and how supportive she was and how she was unlike any other partner she'd ever had.
We support each other. There's things that she's working on and there's things that I'm working on. And if you can get into a relationship and want to be a better person for them and for yourself and for each other, like, that is already a positive sign, because it seems like every time I get into a relationship, like, I just go downhill. My lips have been in a lot of use lately.
What?
This sounds bad, but now I know what, like, that love feels like. Wait. Never mind. Thank you on the babe. See you in September. That's really her. What? Yeah, that's her, y'all. Okay? How would you describe her? I'm getting nervous. How would you describe her?
Oh my god. She's cute and athletic and
she has braids. Oh my god. She has the best smile I have ever seen in my life. Very, very attractive.
What's that?
Yes, she is black.
And all that. While Beck was sitting right there, mind you, they did not deserve this treatment at all. And also, while again, Beck and Amber are very much still living together in their apartment in Lexington, because at one point, I can't remember what the date timeline actually was, but they moved from where they lived with Eric and Ricky to an apartment in Lexington. But while they're still living together post breakup, and Beck's talking about how they need to heal and like all this stuff, Wifey moves in with Amberlynn while Beck is still there. This was also because they were still doing lives and stuff, and this was also when we saw Amberlynn start drinking on camera, like more than usual for the first time, was when Wifey entered the picture. I'm about to show a clip, and just for context that I think is kind of missed, I believe Beck went and visited some of their family, and during that time they got COVID, and so they're gone, and they're talking about like Beck having to quarantine in the beginning of this clip.
Where Wifey at? Next to me. No, she literally will not be on here. He says you only have to quarantine for 10 days if you're vaccinated. Yeah, that's what Becky said. So she might be coming back on the 29th, but I think for like, if she does, I want her to like stay in her room for a few days because I'm just nervous about the whole thing. I don't know. Yes, Wifey's very attractive. And yes, I think she's more attractive in person. She is. Don't you think that's a lot of time? Well, what? What were we talking about? A lot of time for what? Quarantine. Okay. Probably, but where Becky is quarantining, there's 2 people with COVID, so it's like, ooh, you just don't want Becky to be there. That's not entirely true. I do miss her.
So Beck moves out at some point, but it should be noted that Amber basically just left Beck out on their own. Beck has confirmed that they never received any money from the live streams and that they were financially struggling a lot. And also something I forgot to mention earlier was that Beck quit their job per the recommendation of Amberlynn And Beck states that it's because the people who watch Amberlynn found where they worked, but then also they were having a lot of like physical problems due to the job, because I think it was like a warehouse job or something like that. So Amberlynn like convinced Beck to quit their job, and so they hadn't been employed this whole time. And a lot of people also speculate, obviously, because why, like, this is where people's brain goes, but people think that Amberlynn was starting to need a caretaker because she was gaining more weight. Either way, Beck had not been employed up until this point, and so they had a huge gap on their resume. They didn't have a lot of money because Amberlynn never gave them the money from the live streams, and Amberlynn just left Beck high and dry for Wifey. So that is the end of the Beck era. The notable things that happened during this era are reaction channels started. 2018 was really the year of the reaction channels starting to pop up. We got the beanbag in a hurry sound bit, but they were leaving a restaurant and it sounds like some guy said, "Oh Lord, there's a beanbag in a hurry," in response to Amberlynn. That's a big meme in this community.
Thank you.
Oh, thanks. I told them you're probably like that. So the horseshoes and the beanbags in a hurry.
We also got the iconic Bestie Slay talking scale.
Hello. It's ready.
We got Toxic Shock Lake, which was dubbed Toxic Shock Lake from a reaction channel named Willow Davis. And it was a lake that Eric and Ricky, Amber and Beck would all go swimming in. And it literally looked like shit water. Like, it looked not good. And I've swam in a lot of shit water lakes, mind you. I'm from Michigan. It just became a thing. Like, they were going to Toxic Shock Lake, and I just thought that was really funny. Amberlynn and Beck going through, I think, the McDonald's drive-thru, and the red light is like shining on them. And Beck goes, "I look like a big cherry," and Amberlynn goes, "Big, are you calling me big?" And that's also another popular soundbite, so there's that.
That person's light is making me look really...
Yeah, I look like a big cherry.
Big? Are you calling me big?
No, let's talk about me.
We also get the iconic slay that is Eric Cook screaming "No one cares" at Amberlynn when she's rambling about something.
No one cares!
When we get this clip.
Ooh, daddy.
But the thing that, like, I really wanted to talk about when it came to this era is that people talked about it, like, online and stuff. But after the relationship ended, a lot more people started to look at it in hindsight and just realize, like, how awful Amberlynn was to Beck. And I'm just gonna put some clips in here just for context because, like, I can't pinpoint a singular time because there were just so many. And
Oh, she did her makeup today. Huh? Somebody thought that you had dirt on your face.
You actually think that was serious, babe?
Oh, I know they're not serious.
Did you take your medicine today?
No, I didn't.
Okay, go take that. I can tell. I can totally tell you did not take your medicine. I care about you, so take that real quick.
People with rounder, fatter faces look bad with short hair because it makes their face look rounder and fatter.
Fanny packs are back in business.
I'm so excited. Probably too fat for all
Are you actually gonna wear that?
Well, yeah.
Well, yeah, she says. Oh, you look so cute. Do you need to make it a little bit bigger?
I don't know. I still think I'm too fat.
Baby, you just gotta lose a little bit of weight. I know you can do it. Are you having a difficult time?
now Beck has come out and like spoken out. A lot of suspicions have been confirmed with that, even with Beck not saying a whole lot. But also there was a time in 2019 where Beck was very notably having some kind of health concern. And I think they came out and talked about it a little bit later, but Beck was on like different medications and stuff and like trying to get this health concern under control, but it was also having like a lot of mental effects on Beck. And but during this time, Amberlynn still made Beck drive her around to places that she really didn't need to go. But this is why I brought up Amberlynn not driving, because I really think that like she used it as a form of control for her partners, because Destiny has also come out and said that even after they broke up, Destiny was still driving Amberlynn places. But Beck should not have been driving. They almost hit somebody. And also just the various like shoving of the camera in Beck's face during this time and other times when they were having mental or health stuff happen, just was so disrespectful. And just there was a lot of passive aggression and towards Beck. And like now looking back, like I noticed it at the time, but looking back also, it's just really hard to watch.
This is my 29th birthday. I don't remember anything about it. I don't remember any of it. This is whenever I was on a depression medicine, a mood stabilizer, anxiety medicine. I was I was misdiagnosed with bipolar type 2 and was taking an array of medicine trying to figure out what's going on with me. And in turn, it pretty much turned me into a zombie. I don't remember anything about this. I don't know if you watched any of my ex's videos, but a lot of people knew how I was acting really weird. They thought, I mean, it's untelling what people thought, honestly. I was zombied out of my head, and I moved very slowly. I don't remember I don't remember a whole lot about this time. I absolutely look like crap. As you can see, I was not taking care of myself. Being forced out of bed was the only way I was living. Was the only way I was even existing. I was on absolute autopilot. I'm just saying, look at that look in my eye. I'm gonna be honest, I wasn't there. And that's my depression jacket. I wore it constantly. I loved it. Then after I started getting better and got off of all that medicine and got on Zoloft, when I decided to throw the jacket away. There's a video of my family singing happy birthday to me, and my mom's there. This is my last birthday with her this year. Don't remember that either. This was literally the worst time in my life. I'm really glad that I went anyway, because I've suffered from depression for a really long time. I needed to get help, and this was just part of getting help. Got real messed up on a whole bunch of medicine, became hollow and empty, and didn't exist. I went to the dentist today.
Now she's like really numb and in a lot of pain, and it's starting to hurt. It's starting to hurt? Oh no. You should probably get some food.
I don't want to hurt.
Becky be driving in her condition. So I know a lot of people care about Becky, and I know some people just like the entertainment of like, oh, what's wrong with Becky? Is she on benzos? Like, what? No. Becky is totally okay to drive. She's okay to cook. She's okay to do literally anything. Oh, dear father. Sorry. Oh, that girl's really bad. Did you not see her, babe?
Yeah. No, I didn't.
Can you guys see? I don't know if you see Becky. She just went under the car. She looks distraught. Hold on. Okay, guys. After about 10 minutes, Becky was able to get it off. I'm sure a lot of people are like, why didn't you help her? Becky could barely fit under the car, and I know damn well I wouldn't have been able to. And I don't know how, but Becky was able to squeeze under there.
So the end of 2021 into 2022 brings us the JADE Wifey FALINE era. And we say that because we never really knew what Amberlynn's new girlfriend's name was. Online detectives again found out that it was JADE. Everybody referred to her as Wifey, even though that was not liked, because Amberlynn, during one of the live streams during the time when her and Beck were still living together, accidentally doxed Wifey. And in order to make people stop looking, or in an effort, I guess, to make people stop looking for Wifey based on the dox that she did on Wifey, she said that they had broken up and now she was with a new person named Alex. But like everybody knew that this was the same person and that there was not another girl and that Wifey was Wifey all the way through. Now, I will say that the JADE, Alex, Wifey, FALINE, whatever, they later started calling each other Bambi and FALINE from Bambi. It was a whole thing, but yeah. So I will say that this era is kind of regarded as like the least entertaining, as awful as that sounds, era of Amber's channel. And that's simply because it's just Amber, because Amberlynn didn't want to show Wifey on camera, and I don't think Wifey wanted to be shown on camera, which honestly is valid considering the community that surrounds Amberlynn's channel. But the whole time is basically Amber just like having a new hickey every video and them gushing at each other the whole time, and like we hear Wifey talk and we see Wifey's back and like all this stuff, but things do get interesting towards the end of 2021 when Amberlynn starts talking about having weight loss surgery seriously again. But yeah, before that, it's just kind of like eh. And the notable character for this era is Wifey's hand. Amber during 2022 also started Ozempic, and she had a lot of success with it. Like she lost quite a bit of weight with it. She was worried that the rapid weight loss would cause her to have gallstones, so she quit. And during this time also, Amberlynn starts blaming Beck for a lot of things that happened during their relationship. In particular, her cancer. And that was like the one that everybody was like, huh? Like, I mean, all of it was awful. All of it was her being a dick to Beck, but like, that was the one where people were like, what the fuck? And so I'm going to read you screenshots because they were on an Instagram story, and I'll have them up here. Somebody asked, do you think your cancer journey would have been different if you were with your current girlfriend? Because Amberlynn just continued and continued and continued to gush about Wifey and like how great she was and how attentive she was and blah, 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 blah. And, she says, I would have went to the doctor sooner. I wouldn't have ever waited till I was bleeding to death. He rushed to the ER because that's something that happened. Amberlynn was experiencing a lot of bleeding. Someone then asks, are you insinuating that it's Becky's fault that you didn't go to the doctor sooner pre-cancer? And she answers, she didn't seem concerned, which made it to where I was less concerned than I should have been. I'm pretty sure we talked about this on live stream, but she didn't even want to take me to the ER the night I was bleeding to death. She admits that it was wrong of her, and I accepted her apology, and I hold zero resentment. Okay. But my girlfriend now would have literally forced me into the gynecology office, even if I was bleeding for more than 2 months, let alone almost 3 years. Sometimes your surroundings and environment play a big role in situations like this. Just remember to advocate for yourself, because I didn't until I finally did, and it was almost too late. It's up to you to save yourself, no one else. And I think that last sentiment is like a good one, right? But that's not at all what the message before that says. Like, she was relying on her partner to be like, hey, go to the doctor. And like, when you're bleeding, just advocate for yourself. Be like, hey, fucking take me to the doctor. Like, maybe Beck didn't want to go. I don't know. But like, a lot of people took that as her blaming Beck for her cancer, because Beck has a YouTube channel. So somebody commented on Beck's like video or community tab or something, asking Beck if they were going to address this. And they said, because they accused Beck of not taking it seriously. And Beck says, everyone took it seriously. She didn't listen to any of us. She's the one who let fear get in the way. There's no making her do anything, not even her current partner. I'm tired of talking about her and I want to move on. That I should also say that Beck has made it abundantly clear that they do not want Amber to talk about Beck on her channel anymore. But Amber still continues to talk about them. But they go on to say, the night she went to the ER, yeah, at first I didn't take her seriously because everyone knows how she is. She herself has said that she has been a hypochondriac. As soon as I realized how bad it was, which was literally like 20 minutes after she even asked to go, I was all for it because it truly was the scariest thing to have witnessed what I did that night. If only she wouldn't have ignored the people who actually cared about her. I've had a handful and a half of people who also told her she needed to go to the gynecologist. The reason I have not said anything is, first off, I want to be completely done with that part of my life. It's the past and does nothing for my present or my future. Also, I have been very sick, and before I got sick, I was busy. I owe no one this explanation, but maybe she forgot. We all did. We all did love and care about her. It seems to have slipped her mind. Glad she recovered from that nightmare, but I am done with it all. I have had a lot of hard stuff going on already. I don't know. There's a lot of back and forth on this, and like, I just really think it was really unfair of Amberlynn to put all of that responsibility on Beck when you are an adult. Your health and wellness is like your responsibility if you are like physically capable of making it that, right? Also goes back to the point that I talked about in the beginning about Amberlynn famously only ever going to the ER for health concerns. And like, because the issues that she was having that she thinks were symptoms of her cancer were always written off as like a UTI or something like that, or like a bladder infection or something like that. And she accused the doctors of like missing that diagnosis of cancer. But like, when you only go to the ER, you're not going to get the full workup that you would need for something this serious. And for people with a uterus, like that kind of health, like healthcare pertaining to that gynecology is super important to stay on top of, because it is a finicky little bitch down there, let me tell you. The fact that she even just tried to blame Becky for any of this was appalling, and I felt so bad for Beck. They were also going through a lot at the time that all these accusations came out, when I think they were baseless, but yeah. After this happens, we have Amberlynn's dangling ankle, which basically just is she fell off of a curb, which for someone of her size is actually can be very serious. But I think she sprained her ankle, and she referred to it as like her foot was just like dangling, and it just became a meme within the community. And also it's in here because she basically like wouldn't shut up about it for the whole time. So yeah.
Edit. She tore ligaments in her foot or her ankle, I think. I don't know. I tore 2 ligaments in my foot in high school, and that was really painful. So honestly, I understand her pain here. And they still hurt when it rains. So, yep.
After that, she was diagnosed with lipedema, which I think was a long time coming, to be honest. I don't think anybody was really surprised, and neither was she. But after she was officially diagnosed, she started going to specialists and stuff, and the doctors had her start a keto because that is something that is proven to help lipedema with reducing swelling and all that kind of stuff. She quit keto after about a week because she said it made her gallstones flare up. And she also continuously uses the lipedema as an excuse as to why she may have gained weight because she's swollen, which is not something that doesn't happen, but like she uses it as a scapegoat a lot. And I think that's what a lot of people were predicting would happen when she got this diagnosis. The next thing is she went live on Halloween, and she ate an edible. And this would be the first time that we ever saw her under the influence of weed on YouTube, which would become a regular thing for a very long time. She would use Delta 8, and so Delta 8 was like her thing. And she honestly acted very much like a 13-year-old who smoked weed for the first time every time she did it, but that's besides the point. So she ate a Delta 8 gummy. And she started talking shit about a commentary channel called The Narc Alert. Then someone in her chat said that the Narc Alert had had a heart attack, and Amberlynn responded with that she was trying to find her sympathy bone because she didn't care and she didn't feel bad because the Narc Alert was a commentary channel about Amber.
The Narc Alert had a heart attack. Have some sympathy. Sorry, I'm trying to find my sympathy bone. My sympathy. I'm sorry. I don't care. I want you guys to go look at the shit that she talked about my lung. I want you to go look. I want you to go look. So I decided to pull a fast one. And I just wanted to see how you guys would react. And I was right.
And then towards the end of 2022, she actually starts talking about getting weight loss surgery, which is when I started making content about her every once in a while, because as someone who had had weight loss surgery and had also followed Amberlynn for years, this was fascinating. And the reason why I felt like it was different this time is because she had done this a few other times and she wound up quitting the programs for various reasons that she made up in her head. But this time it just felt different. And I was like, I'm going to follow this. And so I did. And they pushed off her bariatric surgery for another year because they found out that she has BED. And they said that you need to go like a year without binging or a year with us, like controlling, like monitoring your BED in order for you to be a candidate for weight loss surgery, which is very normal. That happens a lot. It's to prevent somebody from hurting themselves, both mentally and physically, and all that kind of stuff. After this, she claims that she was misdiagnosed with BED and that she actually had a food addiction.
Are in my DMs telling me that this is like the strangest thing they've ever heard because like weight loss surgery is supposed to help with binge eating. And a friend of mine, if you're watching, hi, said something that really, I was like, oh wow, that makes a lot of sense. She said it feels like or seems like having me wait a whole year is like telling a drug addict, I want you to be a whole year sober before you go into rehab, you know? Like that was a really good metaphor. And I was like, yeah, it kind of does feel that way. Like I don't binge in the definition that they say, like 3 times the amount of food you normally eat. Like I've never done that. And people are coming out of the woodwork saying like how binging is like, you get so desperate you eat the condiments in your home. What? I've never done that. I only ever want to eat like junk. And that's why I feel Like, I mean, this is obviously my fault as well. I just don't feel like I binge, and I'm just starting to like see it more clearly now, because like I don't think I've ever wanted to look further deeper into, hey, is this binging or is this just a food addiction? I never wanted to take the time to do that. It was just so much easier to just be like, yeah, I binge. It was like denial, you know? It's just a lot easier to say that instead of like, no, what's really going on? You know, I was just trying to fall onto something, and by doing that, I have actively ruined my future.
She decided ultimately that weight loss surgery was not, she wasn't ready for it. And honestly, I agreed with that. I agreed that she wasn't ready for it. I thought her having to wait a year was actually a very good thing. But for one reason or another, she said that she wasn't ready for it. A lot of people speculate that she was denied weight loss surgery. There was this whole thing with her and the dietitian and the bariatric program with some very suspicious emails that people think were faked, saying how great of a patient she was and all that. But yeah, so long story short, she wound up not getting weight loss surgery, and a lot of people think that this is what caused Amber and Wifey to eventually break up also, because it wasn't long after. We have Destiny's resurgence this year, and Destiny came on her channel and basically just spilled all the shit from the time that her and Amberlynn dated. And it's very obvious that it was like she needed money and that kind of stuff. People were like, you know, you didn't get any money from the time that you were on Amberlynn's channel, so like go after it, who cares? So this kind of spurred a big back and forth between the both of them. Amberlynn was trying to be the therapized queen that she was, and like taking the higher road by only responding to it via Instagram DMs and live streams, and people would ask her questions about the things that Destiny would ask and all of that kind of stuff. There was a very, very interesting phone call where Amberlynn, it's just prime evidence that this is not her first rodeo with doing this either, in my opinion. Very much used her mental illness as like an excuse again as to why she treated Destiny so horribly.
The reaction that the audience is giving is like, it has messed with my mental health a little bit. That's apparent. And you know what you're doing. And it's all for money, and it's kind of scary, and I didn't think you were that type of person. Yeah. Oh, the only thing you have on me is I have a bad attitude. Yeah, I do. And then you sit there and you say, Amberlynn is a good person, but she has her attitude that gets in the way. Have you ever thought of like mental illness is a problem? My mental illness gets in the way of a lot. Mm-hmm. And I have bad attitude with people who treat me like shit, and you know that you did. And you just know that you did. So it's like the one incident where I could slightly be an abuser, it didn't even happen.
You're a very manipulative person.
I have come to terms that my mental illness does make me manipulate in ways.
And this whole conversation really bothers me a lot as someone who has a mental illness that can affect the way that I treat people. Because this whole year, ever since I got diagnosed with OCD, has been me like apologizing to people or being more mindful of like what my compulsions are when it comes to how I interact with people. Because for me, a lot of my compulsions, this is off topic, a lot of my compulsions are internal, like mentally. And so I like don't flip switches or anything, but I over communicate. And sometimes it's to the detriment of the person I'm communicating to. I've hurt people's feelings that way, and I know that, and I have apologized a lot. And it really bothers me to see someone, but it's not surprising with Amber for me. It really bothers me to see somebody use it as like an excuse instead of just being like, yeah, I did that, I'm sorry. Like, so yeah, it's very long and convoluted. I have another video on that whole arc as well if you'd like to go watch it. But what we should take away from it is we got the Code Red incident from Destiny. We got that account, which I think it seems to be the general consensus in the community that everybody agrees with Destiny or like sides with Destiny on that. We got this phone call where Destiny called Amber on live and talked to her, and that's when Amberlynn very much used her mental illness as a crutch to get out of bad behavior, get out of repercussions for bad behavior. She also talks about how grown she is and how much she loves her girlfriend, and blah, blah, blah. After the Destiny thing, which Amberlynn spent a lot of time dwelling on that, considering how happy she was in her relationship, but not too far after that all happened, Wifey and Amberlynn break up. And this was like, oh, and it was actually the day that I posted my last Amberlynn Reid update where I talked about the Destiny stuff. I was like, oh, it's been quiet. And then that day, literally 2 hours before my video went live, Amberlynn posted the video about them breaking up. So yeah, they broke up. People don't really know why. But yeah, so what wound up happening is they broke up. Amberlynn managed to fall in love with somebody else on Instagram, which did not make Wifey feel happy, obviously. But everybody was like, how do you fall in love with somebody you've only talked to for a week on Instagram and you've never met? So there's that. The whole thing is they like write out the rest of Amberlynn's lease on the apartment in Kentucky. And Amberlynn is now single, living in Oklahoma with her mom, because throughout this whole thing, Amberlynn had been kind of rekindling her relationship with her mom, and like she came to visit every once in a while and all that, and her mom's sober now and all of that. So now she's living in Oklahoma on her own, but her mom also lives where she's living in Oklahoma. So she's spending a lot of time with her mom in Oklahoma. Wifey fucked off back to New York because that's where she's from, and I don't think we'll ever hear from her again. There is some speculation that she did throw some shade towards Amber on like Instagram and stuff, but I don't know if that's been confirmed, so I'm not going to talk about it. Now we are at SINGLELYNN Era in Oklahoma, and the main characters of this arc thus far are Mama Lynn, Buzzballs, Bingo, and the casino, and church, actually. Amberlynn has been spending a lot of time with her mom, which has honestly been really cool to see, because that is something that Amberlynn talked about a lot on her channel, is like her relationship with her mom and her parents in general. It's nice to see that no matter what kind of a relationship it is, they're finally starting to have one, and it's kind of wholesome, to be honest. But Amberlynn is very much in her like single grown adult woman era, and she's very much acting like it. And it's really funny for me to I don't have notes for this part, but it's really funny for me to watch because it reminds me a lot of how I viewed living on my own when I moved out on my own to Denver, when I moved to Denver. And like, it ain't all it's cracked up to be. Like, but there is like some really concerning things happening where she's very off track. She talks about how off track she is with her diet and how she knows she's gained weight. But then also she's drinking a lot, and she started drinking a lot around the time that her and Wifey broke up anyways, but she's drinking a lot. Like she'll talk about drinking like 3 Buzzballs just alone in her apartment, and Buzzballs have like 15% alcohol, like ABV in them per one, and she'll drink 3 of them. And I would say she's been drunk in a video more often than not since she moved out on her own. We also don't think she's in therapy anymore, and she's still very much talking about Wifey a lot and all of that, because like Amberlynn said that it was a mutual breakup. Nobody believed that, and I personally didn't believe that either. She's just like, I don't know, she's going to the casino a lot with her mom and her grandma sometimes, which like, okay, as long as that, like, I'm more worried about the alcohol, and she doesn't seem to get why people are worried about the alcohol, but it's very clear that Amberlynn has an addictive personality, like through just everything that we see, through like her hordes of journals and earrings and everything that she finds interest in. So it's people are worried. And also with her mom being recovered and stuff like that, like people worry that like it's in her genes, that like she could like be more prone to becoming an addict. It's concerning. And did I ever have nights alone at home where I drank and I just had a good time? Yes. That was like, I would have a drunken dance party like at least once a month, because that's fun, okay? And I was just alone with my cats, and that's fun. I had fun, whatever. I didn't drink a lot anyways, and I still don't. But yeah, and so people are just concerned about that. It's good that Amberlynn has her mom also to like help her get around, because I don't know how well Amberlynn would be able to get around on her own. And this is her first time living alone. And so it's been like interesting to watch. And so yeah, that's kind of where we are right now. Why I mentioned church being a main character is because she goes to church with her mom, even though she still very much is staunch in her beliefs to be agnostic and all of that. That's where we are. That is the Amberlynn Reid history lesson. She is in Oklahoma now with her mama, and going to the casino, playing bingo, drinking a lot of Buzzballs, and yeah. So I'm very interested to see how the rest of this, like, what happens. I've been talking for 2 hours. Oh my god. Yeah, I've been talking for 2 hours, so I don't really know where even to end with this, but I don't really have a thesis for this. I just wanted to, like, lay stuff out, you know, and, like, show why Amberlynn is not always the most reliable of narrators, even for her own life. And the reasons that I think the community that around her exists is because she lies so often and she withholds information so often, and people like gossiping about what the truth actually is. So yes, I've been talking for 2 hours. This is super long. Merry Christmas, I guess. I hope this was good. I hope you enjoyed it. I don't really know. I don't even remember everything that I talked about, but yeah. Leave a cat emoji down below if you made it this far. Yeah, that sounds good. Thank you so much to Balesa for sponsoring today's video. I didn't even do an outro. I don't even know what to say. I'm just like, I've been talking for so long. I don't even know what to say anymore. So I'm gonna go edit this because this is gonna take me fucking forever to edit. Anyways, thank you so much to Balesa for sponsoring this video. Thank you so much to you guys for watching this video and continuing to watch my content and interact with my content. And remember to be kind to yourself, be kind to others, drink your water, take your meds, and I will see you in the next one. Okay, bye.
Ooh, daddy.